G2 with a pistol, so
timing
up to
is so
7.
bad,
It's a
bro.
narrow lead at that,
You
but they're going
know
to want
what
to keep
I'm
it going.
saying? My timing is so bad. I don't know what I need
The
to
early
do.
pressure from SEN
My
through
cats
A-main
need to walk on
almost
my
got a kill, I wanna
PC.
say.
Whenever she walk it out on my PC,
But
bro,
made the right
she's
call
gonna
to
press
try to react
the
into B, and then
PC
that
power
post-plant
off
aggression.
button, you know? It's
It's
been
all
so
about
hard.
anticipating it.
Whenever I
On
just
split.
play Valorant in serious ranked
SEN had
mode,
exactly the
she's gonna
read
be
on where G2
walking
were gonna
up
go.
without,
They knew every time.
like,
Okay,
I
if they're
didn't
going
know,
A,
bro,
they're
like,
gonna plan for heaven. We need to
I
be
just wanna
stopping
be
them from
shy
doing
about
that.
that
This time
thing.
it looked like Zelsis got caught out a little bit in that spot. Not quite expecting G2 to go re-exploring B-Link.
Salvos onto the Yang. I mean, Leaf, only danger of losing the Ghost here, but just looking to try and contain, because again, the game plan hasn't changed for Sentinels when they're on these ecos, but it does open up the entirety of the A site, so we're going to be looking at a pretty standard round.
Yeah. It's very difficult to push mid against G2's composition. You can see Leaf playing around his own Vice wall there, but he also puts the trademark on the opposite side too, so if you're pushing on defense through mid, you can't really go anywhere without giving away exactly what you're up to. So SEN, I think, are going to have to be playing really clean retake style or early fighting towards A and B main.
Might be able to cook up a kill or two. These players are hyper pushed up and pressured into the corners here, but, well, with that many bodies and a weaponry differential, it's almost inevitable.
Usually, you're going to see teams trying to die to Spike in that spot so that they don't feed the ults.
Celsius, he's desperate for one, man.
And look, they have fed the ults.
Yeah.
Jorg and Jonah P are getting pretty close, and those are probably your two best ultimates for winning attack side rounds. Jorg is only one away. So do Sentinels now want to fight for an ult orb? Do they think, all right, Jorg is probably going to be fighting for A main ult orb. Should we set up a trap play over there? You can't fight for them both. So there's a little bit of a risk, a gamble involved.
One or the other.
What the decision is.
Yeah.
Does look like they want to brawl in A main though.
And the stars are already layered down.
Jorgamo not necessarily with them.
Now they're going to see that early util being used. In fact, Jorg's making his way over towards Dart and mid. Ping's being sent. It's going to be deep Dart and a clone on top of it. Taking control of the middle of the map, and that's going to be putting him into confusion. Adding some question marks to the backs of the minds of these SEN players, wondering where these players could be from G2. It's a deep TP. It's going straight into the side as well. John might be looking for a cheeky kill, so John is quite aware of it, but ran down in the end. Hey, though. Yeah, not having control of this one. Still cut to the corner. And this could be the difference. The playmaker, he's got to worry about being pressured on multiple fronts, but just backs himself, and if he plays his life, the longer and the more winnable it gets for Sentinels. G2, got to be really worried about this one, just missing these timings. 2 outlaw bullets, no fruition.
2 was it 3?
And getting a move on, a tap and a plan, and they're backing away straight to mid, but Bang knows all at this point.
Can Zelsis get there in time? If Zelsis runs, they'll hear him and they'll know where to anticipate him, so he's got to take the slower timing, which probably allows Val in the plant.
30 seconds left.
Zelsis is going to be deading those thorns, but all deaded. G2 not giving up the site though, everybody grouped up towards it, and that flash drops down.
Oh my god.
G2, it's not quite made for the retake there. Bang's forced to just save, scurry away the rifle for the rainy day, which is going to be next round.
G2 baited out the wall in that position. It kind of
insane,
makes it think like G2 are trying to play off-site, and some of them might have been split up. Yeah. And instead, all 3 of them are just crouched in front of the wall, waiting to punish Zelsis. This round definitely got tricky. G2 are leaving it completely up to Trent with his drone and with his recon to try to clear a main alone, which means he has to play so safe. And this round, they actually ended up clearing a main by going through art, through the site, and then back into a main. So, they might be sending a running for a is the right choice. SEN have let off the pressure a little.
This is really being showcased, and you can see it. With weapons by SEN, but still offloaded towards these ultimates, and a lot of emphasis being placed. They've got to win out this A main fight as well. As at their feet, the TP is forced out, so they've cleared out A main. No worries here for G2, but players getting a bit of a move on. Sentinels looking to try and see if they can shore up the defense over towards A, but it's pulled them away, and they've lost information across the map at the same time.
One of the things that John was doing so well on defense split was recognizing when G2 were going for fast hits and full gamble
Oh,
rotating.
they're ready.
G2 ended up
They're
getting red.
recognized.
I think again here they were expecting Jorg's Yoruel to be the signal for a fast A execute. And now they're forced to go and re-explore and look for info.
I do like these moves being made. Drone even just spotted as well, Valen, so they're still stacking players over towards A.
They've got a nice timing though. Narrate, he just used a haunt to clear B long. G2 have heard that, seen that, now they can just walk up, knowing that SEN are pretty much relying on util to get info here rather than bodies and guns.
Celsius did hear footsteps though, so now they can start the mass migration. Jorg almost the one with the plan. Place down, Salvos, oh my goodness, he is in a very tight spot. Between a rock and a hard place. Some might say still his team is willing to bail him out. Make sure they've got that gunplay happening, working. There's only 12 seconds left, and you've got to try and stick this at some point here to seize. Hard committed, and the gun's they're just not there for SEN. They can't try and play fast and loose into this one, but maybe Celsius from
with
behind
the flank?
With the SEN bundle.
But they're aware
They
of it.
know, they
spot
know.
out as the rifles
They
making
know,
sure
they
got that
know.
swift dismissal.
They
Full
know,
side
they
control.
know.
They know exactly where John is and where he's going to be trying to play towards. It's 10 to 6.
You know,
G2
they know.
more than a string of rounds.
There were guns online. SEN made that very dangerous if they didn't take it, but G2 were allowed the opportunity to play scrappy. These long range shots are just missed. Kaplan's called a tactical timeout. He wants to reassess what's going on. He wants to four rounds at the beginning of the throw. Actually, quite early before the last timeout. And then getting more and more rounds on board. Could almost be. They're doing really smart. There's not too much action for this guy. There's a little bit though. That spot. One of the things might be avoid areas where Jonah P can get value out of the Vice Ultimate, because that's something G2 are surely going to be using in round 17 here.
And I think as well, a little likely as well, it's just the fact that SEN need to win this. They are scraping the bottom of the barrel with their buy. Their money and economy is going to be plummeting if they end up losing this one. Despite the loser's advantage, or loser's bonus that they have just from losing the rounds. 4 in a row, 2. If they win this one, punching SEN down, it is that must win. Like I said, it's not too much in terms of tactics. It's been just really rifle round being played, but that could call a little bit of a set play, maybe see if they can get an early advantage. What they can do on the backside of it.
I mean, I think the adjustment, just looking at the minimap of the Sentinels, is going to be to have Zekken set up early with Astra and Hero utility to lock down B-Long. Look here, he's got 30 seconds left back of this game. Another one, so a minute on the clock where he can lock down B alone.
G2 are making moves.
He's going to be under pressure here because this is a B split.
It is. No one's really going to try and watch his back in. Forced to go back into a defensive position. He's postured away from the angle. G2.
Oh, Liv gonna be get at
lane
this one
control
over there.
through main to steal guard.
Oh my god! As I say, bro! As I say, bro! As I say, man! As I fucking say, bro!
They knew it left a little gap there and he covered it with the op. It's so good from G2.
Probably need to be like, you know what I'm saying,
He's about
bro?
to get annihilated with Tejo util.
And here it is. Salvos. You pushed G2 forwards, but they're backing away. They're saving.
They're saving!
They are saving!
5 on B!
Oh my god,
G2 to get up
no
to
worries.
11 in that spot. Very rarely see big saves like this. Yeah. The strat was perfectly good. We've got enough time to save to watch it all in slow-mo. They're like, alright, sure, we'll test them for this. It's really hard to their economy is in this. match so far has been defined by SEN taking those risks and being rewarded for it. And now you're giving the game to G2 a little. No room for error here.
It's 5 in a row for G2. Looking to make it 6. Stepping forwards. It's a flash and a dart. It's going to clear the way over towards A main. Drone. Making it feel like they're trying to go a bit of an A egg second. It's pulling players away from them, and it is.
Oh my god, bang with the
like
juggle
bang.
move.
A bit
Crazy.
of spam, making sure to lock down that spot in a position. It's just the one choke point to worry about. There's that late lurk from Leaf, which could be a bit of a problem, but now SEN are using a drone, just trying to clear this one out, and they just see Leaf, so they know exactly what's going to be occurring.
Oh.
Potential to catch these players. Valen's just spraying down, committing into the rifle play. Jonah P hard committing. He's going to be stepping up onto the site now. Wincon's needed for G2 here. Sees at the feed. He's going to be locking it down on top of it. There's going to be smokes in the face. A Cosmic Divide. Pure chaos. And not a lot to play with. Trent still sticking. Nothing from Sentinels to push this one back, but they're happy to wait it out. Zekken, he's got a dimensional drift for this retake. He's going to be joining his team momentarily as soon as this Cosmic Divide dissipates.
This is going to be a late retake attempt because Zekken was so far away.
Time to turn up the tempo. Jonah P, did he make a sound cue here? He has to be potentially.
Oh my god.
Knife in the back, but no. Reveals it early, just gets the one before the trade comes through. Leaf watching.
Oh, Leaf with that thing, bro.
Flash is not doing too much at all. Zekken, Shorty knocks him down. 4 bullets left.
Oh! Oh my god, okay. That was craziest part. That was the scariest part.
To go all the way.
You know, that was a craziest part.
B to A, rips the dimensional drift and somehow takes it. What was this? The shot on Leaf is spectacular. It's a pre-fire, anticipating that peek through. What a hero! What a hero when SEN needed it. They would have been out of the game.
Truly would have. Into Zen's hands. An extra bite to the defense. Gonna deal with that util though. That's gonna be swinging it out. Flash over the top. Step over this. He's not being that connected. He's gonna be spamming around to the corners, into the common positions in case there are some Sentinel players lurking around. John with the reclear now, getting the drone in, but this
Zekken fighting Trent over towards A main.
Yeah. Fluidity from Sentinels.
Oh, he missed that.
Shoulder, the jiggle. But a shot missed, nevertheless. Thorns at the feet.
Oh!
What is the rate? Just going for a bit of a peek.
Bold, very bold.
Leaves it to the 4v4.
No util, no double swing. Is Zelsis going to go for a jump up here?
40 seconds left. Zelsis could be that playmaker, tucked to the corner into this spot.
He's in a tough position because
wall's
they've given up the whole of B-Link.
The wall's going to give him a gap to play in, though. If they trigger this, put it up, and it's going towards his site. Starts it down. Dodges the
Give
flash.
something crazy.
Drops
Do
the
not
flying
play
forwards,
like
but the
that.
Thorn's still dead
Do
anyway.
not play against
And Down
that
is
thing.
inside the smoke. They are
Do not
unaware
play
of
against
this.
that
Here's a
thing.
corner.
Do not play against that thing, bro.
From
You guys
Sentinels.
need to know, bro. Without getting any info with that thing, you are not allowed to pick like that.
Honestly, where Jorg the spike down, play for SEN, they've got themselves back into it. It was looking absolutely dire. With 2 rounds. Especially for the second. 1v3. They managed to cut the gap. In that round as well, one of the bigger things coming out of the tactical timeout the captain took, going into round 17, was that they wanted Zekken to fight for extremities more. They had 2 rounds where Zekken pushed up deep on B, teleport away forwards. And in this last one, Zekken was part of the skirmish, let's say, over towards Arch, and then went on a re-clear and tried to fight Trent. And that it's not so much that people are dying in A main for G2, but G2 are not controlling A main at any point. And that makes A splits really difficult. It almost takes them off the table. Good luck running an A split. You know, if you're going to be second in that. One of the things that I think Teal is it worth it? To invest more resources towards A, or should we just assume that SEN are leaving B quite weak and start trying to find Zelsis?
Trying to play this attack together. Way to work around what he's doing is his adjustments himself. He's still got the operator. He's probably not going to be meeting too many players, but you never know.
Let's go, bro! Let's go!
G2 here and now. It's drone sent out.
Bro, you are crazy?
The goal might be to try and spot the operator.
Damn, I need to prepare for my future.
This to me looks like they're going to try to push back second if he is over towards B, and then go for an A re-clear. I don't know if we're going to see them go straight into a B split though, perhaps. Alan and Jonah are drifting back towards the middle of the map. But it's a B leaning default anyway, whereas usually they've been going towards Art or B link. Yeah. So Josh has adjusted something, and yeah, it is going to be that late round, mid-round kind of re-clear towards A main. And I think they'll be expecting to meet Zekken here. It would be most standard, but Narrate's just given away that it's the Fade covering this spot now.
It just needed the mid-round info with that Prowler.
Okay, no,
you can't
this
fight
is
it as well as Zekken would be able to.
G2 know what they are doing, what they're gonna do.
Looks like he's still gonna square up though. Just jiggling. A few bullets laid off, and he does have the knife full as well to try and help him.
Oh my god, never with that thing. Like, it's impossible to be a player rushing like that thing.
Now he's getting a move on. A quick tap, seeing if there is that
if
response.
Zekken make any moves here, he's gonna die.
Can't quite make a play. Holding down some of this ground.
Probably.
It's critical
if
for the
Sentinels get
retake
one more dead,
they're looking to take it one step
Zekken
further.
gonna get
They've
back
worked their
up.
way all the way through, in through the back. There's a slight gap into the window, but it's being watched for.
Oh my god!
My god, just
oh my god,
Jogmo just backed himself in through main. The 2v4 in the blink of an eye with a Hunter's Fury at that. Tail end of it, getting that damage.
Jogmo, okay, that's crazy.
There's no respite. It's 12.
That was crazy stuff.
More chance to send play OT.
What is that thing? What happened here?
It's fine, but you got to play behind cover and wait for your teammates to play in. He just tried the wide swing.
It's okay.
G2 slow, controlled, getting their heads back into the game, making sure they prioritize those fundamentals. Now they're on that point.
This is where it's going to get the utmost difficulty for Sentinels to find this one. Jogamo going to grab that information once more. He's going to be using it to see if he can set the path and clear the way. They know the wall's on.
Oh my god.
How's he going to break him through? Shorty's out, and the players are just flooding their way back in. This is desperation from Sentinels, but is it going to be enough? No.
Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god! Map for map, map for map, map for map. That has been crazy.
こ。あ、見てないよ。ここ。あれ、見てないよ。あ、見てないよ。
One, two, three. 1, 2, 3. What's going on here?
And Valen just testing the crowd, arms up in.
Riv did with Josh RT. Was him talking about that first map? You know, hey, lost it. It is what it is. But now we got these.
Okay.
Kind of going to what you and I were talking about. Strategy of work out for them.
ここ。あれ、見てないよ。あ、見てないよ。
What am I fighting? I don't play like this. I think I get a lot of stress. You know, I've been playing for a long time, so let's go for that match. Let's go for a deathmatch. Let's see what kind of happen.
After that pause from Josh RT, really slowed the game down a little bit. We're a lot more thorough in being ready for this forward place, setting up the proper coordination between players.
Oh no.
Yeah, that's what their comp is going to excel at. When they're on attack, they can take the game slow, nullify that defensive aggression, and come out on top.
Well, we did get an opportunity to hear from the G2 camp. Let's jump over to the Sentinel side with Coach Kaplan, get his thoughts going into map 3.
Oh my god.
Here with Kaplan ahead of map 3, a split looks really great. Talk to me about what was going right there.
Yeah, I mean, we just had a bunch of plans. We figured, what are they going to try to do when they watch our VOD back, and let's get a step ahead. And I would say it worked really well, and we were shooting real straight, and they looked a little nervous.
All right, so looking ahead to map 3 now, what needs to be shored up from that map 2?
Yeah, I mean, we lost both pistols. It happens, but then we got set plans for the first guns, and we just goofed. We're in good spots and messed them up. So we're just going to make sure we're real drilled and make sure we nail those early rounds so we don't get snowballed.
Kaplan, thanks as always. Good luck in the series.
It's 2 of my second screen, but this is just like a craziest part that I have performed, you know?
対戦を確認
What is your highest rank? Radiant. Hashtag 44.
デスマッチ
What the? Okay, sure. Bro, what the?
Certainly was something that they could have gone for pretty heavily over towards Prey as well. But there was even more that they also had to deal with twice.
Oh my fucking god.
Timing slightly askew between Celsius. And it's another pistol. Just heard it. Very tough to win on a map if you're losing pistol and bow.
Oh my fucking god, bro. What the?
You can't afford to lose out on a trophy
Through on the sides of the smokes and last-ditch effort and play by Sentinels. See if they can do that damage, maybe claim a couple of guns in the process, but it's all contained by G2.
I do like what Sentinels are throwing out.
Bro, you are not getting away. Just get it out from me,
We
please.
saw a really good one against MIBR as well. They're coming in here with ideas and trying to disrupt G2 and apply pressure to them. But as yet, unshaken. This is the one that Kaplan was just talking about in the coach's interview, that they, I think the word he said was goof. Zen have got to make sure that they're playing with a bit of discipline here. And watching out for G2 to make the play, because normally initiative is going to be with the team that has the lower weapon. Deep trade. And Jorg is set up to go for a flat feed off Leaf's contract.
This fucker, why the fuck are they gonna be
Throwing forwards, just seeing Valen. He's in on the side. Retake is the name of the game.
Takes the orb, and now he takes the round 3, which is impressive, especially considering you don't win the pistol. Play offside, so Bang's got a pull. You have Salvo as well. The front grenade as well. So much util. Although there's the Salvos used early from John.
It's a push and pull. Both sides just trying to exchange out that util as well. I've seen G2 hoping that they can get a better side of it second though. Forwards onto that. Flash does connect. It's good in the process. Lane is running short at that, and the raid forwards and put in a bit of a pinch. The again has to be offloaded here, so nobody's going to be able to stick this one. Still got the pole. Leaf's been knocked off the map at some point. Yeah, the pole is a saviour at the end of the day. If the guns go away, it's going to be that. It's the trouble when you take the time to get into these retakes.
And I had a questioning tone in my voice when I was saying that John used the salvo early. But actually, with the salvo and with G2 pretty confident they were running an on-site post-plant setup.
Yeah.
So G2 ended up investing a lot of utility through this smoke here that we're watching. Whereas instead, G2 are a good enough team if they realize all of that utility and then getting a much earlier tap on the spike, it must be said as well. So nice awareness. Almost like Cyber GT. Smoke, break the door.
Applying pressure onto the A players. The setup. G2 again, they have a familiar one to the prior one, so this is open sight and open access for Sentinels.
They've realized that G2 are not fighting for this area of the map, so they're getting free plant.
Yeah.
Can't argue with it.
You can put in a test towards G2 to see how well they can retake. With an op in the hands of Leaf too, it's going to be slowing them down a step. Drone is used to clear the way. Broken. Tied to the corner, not
oh my
anticipated.
god.
QT playing ahead of the
what in the
game.
world Juggle would play like that? I really didn't understand.
Away for it, but it's that rolling retreat that's being ordered for, and Zekken hitting. Still a lot to tangle, and still Valen with the 2, but Trent left alone now in a 1v2, and it's just not doable.
That's
Guardian
crazy.
in the hand. It's the rate to make short work of the stragglers.
If you think about the defensive setups we've seen from G2, you're worried about mid, because that's where Leaf and Jorgamo can both be playing in tucked positions behind boxes. You are actually worried about B main as well, because that's where the operator is going to be a large amount of the time. You're also worried about that jump spot that Leaf has been playing with the chamber in A main. But as long as you hard clear A main, Sen are looking pretty good for it. An eco round here for G2. And if they want to make some kind of adjustment, it wouldn't really be for this round. You don't want to showcase your strategic change too early.
Smoke at the feet, no slowing down the Sentinels though.
Oh my god.
Oh my god, man, he's doing backflips in the air trying to contest with that.
And they steamroll the B site. A big exec knocking G2 like Skittles. It's going to get them up to other big ultimates that they can use in the post plan.
Yeah, SEN are thinking about it as well.
John should be running.
Exactly, they're sending John in, take these fights, because again, he's one away from the Armageddon once more.
To be honest, he doesn't even need to really die in this spot or get the kill, because that ult orb over in A main is pretty free, but he's going to get it anyway. Right, coming into this next round, if G2 don't take a tactical timeout, they've got to be thinking about how to stop SEN from taking A main control. Yeah. And whether that means doing the bunny hop play from Leaf, or whether that means having some kind of fault line play or someone's contact.
Trouble is, Leaf can't really play in a standard way that he has been in the past because it's Tail pick. It's just enough of a curveball that he's got to think about knife being played by Zelsis and also the salvos because, yeah, we mentioned it, it's predictable when he goes to that play. You know exactly where he's going to be putting that Levu, and you can see them here, SEN are doing it.
Yeah.
Up in the library and where the TP to come and spot is.
So really trying to make life difficult for Leaf. He has the Outlaw. And this time, SEN already trying to stay one step ahead, anticipating the change from G2 and hit B.
It's a big ult. There's no...
Oh my god.
And Valen, he was hard committed to the one side. He was just trying to bail out his teammate that was Jogma, but TP's backs away, and that's... Oh my, it's all going to pot.
That was a bad idea.
Dimensional Drift, the Hunter's Fury, any attempt to salvage this fight. But the tags, okay, landing in the end was Zekken cleaned up, and that's a plant. Still not committed, but Sentinel's now going into the next wave of things here. Jumping down, flash forwards, but the shot's missing, going wide of the Outlaw. No damage done, no kills to be found. G2 still making this awkward, but SEN, make sure they defend their IGLs back, make sure that they can't step
Oh
over
my
it.
god, bro. I know Leaf can do this, bro. I saw this before.
They got to take a step, okay. The pull forced out, and Leaf left to do it all in this spot. Taps.
I saw this coming from before.
And now he's going to worry about the flanks, okay. There is that level of awareness. He can take in a fight.
I saw this coming from before.
Gets the reload. Time ticking against him, but only 18 health to work with. And there he knows it.
Oh,
the call for the rest of his team. Communication is clear.
Nice.
Goes for that jump spot with a shorty just to seal the deal.
SEN are looking like the same form that they were in on Split in terms of being ahead of the game. John is reading stuff really well, and I'm super impressed with the anti-strategy that they've got going on. To shift up their composition, add the Taeho in, and be so aware of the threats that G2 have around the map.
It's not about how we do it, it's not about how we do it.
So that's the SEN motto for when they get a sloppy round win, basically. It's not about how we do it, it's just about that we do it. But to be honest with you, I'm pretty content with what I'm seeing from them. I feel like the execution's decent. John was in a pushed up position there, so you see him use the salvo early. And the rest of SEN managing to mitigate Leaf even when he had, as you pointed out, great awareness. Josh RT needs to have this tag time out with his team because they made the adjustment themselves and it didn't work. So now coach input required.
Probably not even going to be for this round as well. I mean, G2, the money is dire.
Yeah, it couldn't get worse.
They might cook up a little bit of an eco play. I mean, I've got the preview. I can see the mini-map of where G2 are currently collected. Looks like they want to try and take a peek down mid to see if they can get some kills. It's been the playbook when G2 are on ecos.
But SEN are doing such a great job of playing some people on site and some people off. They're not full retreating, so they're not allowing G2 to get easy retakes.
Yeah. It's just enough where G2 have to respect it and use util, but not enough that they can just kind of waltz in, run, not clear the corners.
And one thing that also means is that if G2 commit super heavy to this mid push, there will be multiple players waiting for them.
Oh, another
playing
crosshair.
passive off-site post-plant positions. Although, gotta say, the timing they've taken here is so early.
Yeah, it's just bang left to contain this mid push that's occurring as well. Oh my, he's in Astral form. They've slowed it down.
Look, he doesn't even think about it.
Already passed, but I think he spotted them anyway.
Oh my god.
That's slightest of timings, and bang left to pick up the pieces. And these players off onto the flank. The dart is going to be dealt with, and now it's Trent who's been put under a bit of a squeeze. Has to offload that util just to see if he can buy some space and time.
Oh my! Oh my! Oh my! Fuck! Okay? Oh my fuck! Doom! For short miss.
Take any fights.
I was single connected for though, low key.
It's gonna be on Jorg.
That was a fucking bad.
Absurd if G2 won a chance.
Just jump peek through the wall. He needs information to work with first. Off and well, okay. Leaf there. TP back behind. He's not going to anticipate this. It was all obfuscated. Wait
Oh
a
my
minute.
god, I saw
Too
it
soon.
somewhere.
And now, hold on, he's going to be able to get half of this. The star was late to be placed. He's sticking it all away. He's sticking it all away. Bang takes his effect.
What?
His effect up.
What?
Even Al just not
Oh
expecting it, and the kills
my.
around it out. Leaf has just stolen a round away from them. Was he in Astro form? Could he not hear that he was sticking that?
I think it must have been. He was the last player alive, and he's in astral form as the tap goes because he's placing the star. I think he just missed the sound cue, to be honest.
Yeah.
This is the round what they needed, bro.
That's my chamber. That's my chamber.
Yeah,
the
that's
first
my
time that
chamber.
These last couple of rounds, because Leaf
That's
almost
our
got a bit of a
fucking
clutch
chamber.
previously. This is where you're really
Damn,
seeing
craziest part.
from Kickoff 2025 so far.
Yeah, it's rearing its head. Despite the Teo pick that they're using to try and punish the common positions that Leaf wants to play in, pushed up towards Library, where his TP might be laying. They hit a jump spot. Zekken peeking through into the smoke. It's going to be fading.
Oh my
Danger
god,
don't know players don't see
bro.
him just yet. Dash is
He
gonna
was
be
so
fading away
lucky.
on top of it. Might be incentivized to try and get some value.
Donna
Dash is gonna
HP
be
was so
removing the
lucky
throw.
to
Still
be escaped from
steps
that.
up to the challenge.
What a
G2 only
timing.
just picking up these timings. It feels like Zekken was good.
Oh my god!
Like, what is
Jonna
this
HP was so good.
Smoke drops down so Zekken can recross.
Jonna was
It's just
so
instinctual.
good to get
just
that.
reading the timing play there so well. It looked like Zekken had almost caught it.
Can't snap to the drone in time. He's going to be suppressed here. And Leaf is in a bit of a pickle. Yeah, has to respect that now. So he's going to be cleared out towards A. SEN get access to the site once more.
Narrate's doing a great job on this pinch as well. All of the mid control that they've been getting, he's been playing for Heaven control in a lot of these A splits, and it gives them much better post plant positions.
He's going to be that real difficult player. Out towards the link. No command. Waves coming outwards. Senna holding this one. 2 for Nail playing ahead of the Cosmic Divide. They know they have to play up onto the side, but G2 have got all their plays towards the backside of it. John needs one and potentially even.
Oh my god! Oh my. Okay.
The calls for the help of the
These
rest of
guys
his
are
team
spurred up.
to put an end to what G2 were aiming for.
Beautiful round from Sentinels. Even despite Zekken getting timing to span through that smoke, they take full mid control. John Cuty's Tejo, insane value, insane impact. Pushing back Leaf and stopping him from taking early positions, and then drones into A and pushes Leaf away again. And Narrate is getting set up for these cross-map paranoias to also push the chamber further and further. Takes Heaven control, and then is the backstab against the retake. Every game plan here from SEN is working. It feels very similar to Split.
Yeah.
Their anti is, or not even just anti, the anti plus the game plans that they've specifically come in with today to mix things up. They look brilliant.
Yeah, and it's forced the second time out of G2. This is just the first half. We're only into, round 9 coming up, but you can feel the pressure on G2 now. It's a scenario as well in this best of 5 where G2 should have the advantages. They can, push the map pool into any direction they want without fail. And yet, still, it's Sentinels coming in with just these little twists and turns that are adding to their composition. They're thinking about ways to disrupt the game plan from G2.
Josh RT is looking to try to make the adjustment, get his team back into the game.
No. He was just wanted to be a guy live. That's it. Because of all Sentinel players is focusing
when
on
they
live.
don't have the ability
Do you
to
know why?
Leaf or Jorg playing mid.
Do you know why? Yeah, that's the reason. They didn't have anyone to be
removes so
escaped
much
from
information.
though.
It's
So
not
probably
even the threat of
G2
just
can
getting a
take
pick,
this
it's
map
also
out.
that they then have
G2 can
rotates cut
take
off.
this map out.
They lose vent control. They have to worry so much about mid, so it weakens the sites.
And everyone grouped up from SEN. This is going up against the eco for G2. Round where they would love a miracle, but unlikely to happen. Drone heard for Joe's just trying to break this one as well, deny that information, but go button's going to be called. Zekken, he's got that dash active. Got to wait for the util load to try and make a go of things, and there's a dart up and overhead on either side as well. It's trying to be counteracted by G2. They definitely play towards the
Oh
south.
my
Just really
fucking
understand
god.
for him. Up and above onto Heaven. Maybe there's a timing to be taken, but the flash is
Ace.
oh, picture perfect.
Ace!
Everybody blind.
Ace!
One away from the ace.
Ace!
Leaf is
Ace!
miles away.
Ace!
Technically better to give it to John Cutie here because he'll be able to get a...
He's
He's
fine.
not going, bro. He's not giving an ace, bro. He's not fucking giving an ace, bro. Holy
Leaf,
Jesus,
the percentage
man.
player, throws himself against the rocks. And that is the overwhelming pressure from SEN. And from Zekin in this round, it is absolutely flawless.
Enemy kill.
Even with the Kalat in there too. But Josh RT's tactical timeout is for this next round coming up, round 10. They're not as worried about the fact that they almost got aced there. It's all about whether or not they can string a few more together on their defense side. And SEN will be reluctant to allow them.
Still smiles for G2. Again, the salvos, just in case.
Yeah, same kind of
Yeah, well, Zekin was actually so close to get 2 aces.
Leaf
you
could
know?
be going for that A main jump kind of control. But he hasn't tried it once this game, I don't think.
No, it's a much more passive setup. Taken, as you mentioned before, it's like this trap play.
Yeah, this is the trap play. So Leaf is on an off angle. He takes contact and Jorgamo flashes in.
Is the Armageddon going to be there in time? It's a flash as well. He wants to
Oh
take that
my
down.
god!
Plenty of
Oh
shots.
my god!
But just the composure, the aim not quite there. It's a stressful scenario to be placed in, that's for sure. And with it, Leaf and Jorgamo of
disaster. Absolute disaster for G2.
Got a save.
They're
I
saving.
think SEN was super ready for that. That's something that G2 have run before.
They're saving,
a trap
they're
play that
saving.
they've relied on a couple of times in
They're
this
saving.
map already.
Yeah.
And you see the positioning of the Armageddon. I mean, if we get to watch it on the replay, it may have been that Jorgamo was actually forced to take that timing because the Armageddon was on top of him over towards the stage of the cliff.
It's a little bit hard to see.
Ascendant? Oh my
Whether or
god,
not he was
D-Rang.
forced, he still had an opportunity to get at least one. He just couldn't quite land the bullet.
Sentinels,
What picked this
the
map?
best teams that I think we've watched at making sure that they know the small gaps and windows of opportunity that Taeho gives you to take those fights as well. It's not necessarily the threat of the ult, like the Armageddon, you can't really stand your ground against it, but look at this. They deal with this handedly. Didn't catch the kill onto Leaf, but he's trying to evacuate into heaven and they're just spamming it.
Yeah. They have extremely good awareness of how that's going to affect Leaf. And Jorg, though he wasn't completely forced.
Look at this gooner, bro, just playing exits.
That's a first on broadcast.
Look at that Arsenal fan.
Yes, yeah.
Look at that fan of the soccer team,
Of
Arsenal.
course, Arsenal mentioned.
Goodness me.
That's what he was referring to.
Wow, that's a bold one. That's taken me out.
That's funny.
Okay.
That is funny. Familiar scenes from Leaf. This time Suppresto. That was a knife towards the back, and he is caught into the angle. It's good with the ult, but he's got so much util at the back feet and a flash into his face as well. It's purely full uncomfortability. But Leaf survives. Enough time board as well for him to just reposition with the rendezvous.
Yeah, but they've got them completely contained on B. I mean, look at these positions from Valen and from Jorg.
Yeah. No exit plan for Sentinels. You're going to have to batter your way through this one. Square up, take the fight straight to them. Everyone really quite close and personal up onto the site. No one playing off to a degree, and that's back open wide. Zelsis now going to be commenting the fights occurring, and decisions need to be made. Sentinels, they have to carve out a path. There's only 2 of them remaining. A 2v3, there's timing still. Clone, dealt with, and Leaf. By this time, wait for his team to slowly collapse onto him. He is low though, brings it that 2v2. Still uncomfortable for Sentinels, but it's definitely winnable, and it comes down to that fight! Bang wins it, 1v1! Unable to capitalize,
Valen has been there for his team today. He's had them, guiding them through some difficult rounds, but they are needing it. You see him after he wins this one, staring up towards the ceiling, praying for another one to come his way, or maybe just taking a breath after how frantic these moments are. It feels Herculean for G2 to get rounds today, which is such the opposite of what we've seen from them in Kickoff. Everything has looked too easy up until this point. Yeah. This is the first time they've been tested, and my God, what a test it is. G2 need another to make this look competitive. And SEN going back to the well of these A splits by the look of things.
Big presence from G2 up through mid.
Look at this.
So on the ropes.
Salvo saved this round, Brent, so not used in the same spots. And at this point, you've already conditioned Leaf. He's not going to start the round in those kind of areas.
Yeah, and feels a bit impromptu.
But the Taeho drone is so fast at being able to clear out both A main and the site.
Trent is hyper committed. Needs to make a play. His back just opens up wide. He somehow gets 2, and he's still alive.
Oh my god!
Big Sentinels to shreds. the slightest of windows, and he capitalizes, jumps on it, pounces on it almost immediately, and a refight taken out towards A main. This is Rapid. Shock darts, trying to force him out wide. Jogamo, that's a spike drop down on top of it. Bang! Needs to go for another re-swing, and he's found 2 of his own. 3 total into the round. It would have to be an ace. 2 left to stand. The smoke gonna be fading just in a moment. He hears the footsteps and knows what to expect.
They don't know he's here.
They don't know. He's crossed up onto the corner. Open ducked into the shoulder!
Oh.
And a trade in sight for Jonah P.
Well, Trent has just given them a miracle. We didn't get to see it. I mean, the observers expected Trent to die. He should have died.
Yeah.
The entry player, the Tejo drone, they created a spot where Trent was only able to occupy a tiny little area in his anchor position on A, and yet somehow he gets 3 out of this, playing off the flash from Jonah P wonderfully, and then comes back to deal with Zekken.
Trent being the opener and the closer of that final round, exactly what G2 needed.
Nice! Oh my god! Oh my god!
Feeling it and keeping his team in it. And we're going to be sending it down to Riv as well. We're standing by, and listen, this is really coincidental. We're standing by with Trent's dad and brother.
Thank you, gentlemen. Before the
Ultimate,
I'm here with Trent's dad and brother Jason and Hunter. Thank you so much for joining me. We actually just saw Trent get a crystal, so that's got to feel good. But otherwise, friends, family out in Forest, how's it feel to be here at the arena?
Oh, this is awesome. I love this. We come out here a lot and just cheering him on.
ここが奴らの墓場だ。アルティメット引き寄せる。
You watch a lot of EMEA, Hunter. How do you feel like we're matching up right now in your area?
Watch a lot of the different regions. I think it's interesting because we usually start ahead. We practice a lot. We usually start ahead on the comps. Teams over to you.
And being Trent, is there ever like a timeline, you know, beating Trent in the games? Is there ever a time after the games you're like, hey man, I saw you did something like that? Is it like that?
If you play me in that, he's definitely one to me about. I've played a few times. I'll take the games. The last time we played Pro, I took Pro, like where he was
Awesome. Another question before I let you enjoy the game. Jason, look at how everything has gone. You guys sit now with the city in the crowd. Jonah P last time said every time Sen gets a frag, you hear that crowd. How's it like to out cheer them and just get there for G2?
Oh, it's tough. It has a big crowd here. It's tough to crowd.
Alright, well, we'll hear you for next half. Thank you so much for the interview. I appreciate your time. Best of luck to the team. Back to you.
I love that. I was just channeling the energy. I mean, that's a big fan of whatever that was, man. I mean,
Yeah, I'm not sure I could find a single game that I could beat Trent.
Absolutely.
Like checkers or something. Study for months. Yeah. All right. G2. True still on. They've got a couple of big guys there with clutch. Balin and Trent coming out with a triple accurate.
Trying to play that one way before blossoms up in the corner. Down to the body sees the head, and that's a lot of battled off in a way. Wait a second, that's a clone. They trip down for a second. All good. That's just ahead of the smoke. And he's trying to play ahead of that timing. Narrate from the backside as well. They're anticipating that G2 are going to go for that refight. And one step ahead from Sentinels. Pistol round. Lying in wait for them, but not out of the danger zone just yet. It's a quick wrap around, a quick pivot from G2. Making their way over towards B.
Sen have needed a pistol. I mean, they're already ahead. They're 7-5 up, right? But they lost both of the pistols over towards Pearl. They were losing some like bonus round situations as well. So they'll feel like one is owed to them at this point. A 4v3, but also a spot where you don't really know where these post-plant positions are going to be. You're expecting G2 to go for some kind of play. They're down people. Leaf. He's only got a classic to be able to work with here. Burned up pretty much all of his headhunter bullets, though he has one left if he wants to do something stylish.
So low.
Damage done to Zelsis.
It should be Sen's round.
Should be. Steps forward. When that was the low player, not even necessary. Slightly overkill, but it turns into the 3v3 quick
like
evacuation
that,
backing away. That's Utah going to be expended in
Damn.
second. Happy to peek off of it. Pushes Leaf into that unfavorable spot and position, and a shock dart's flying forward still. They're low, and second needs to hold the line, push them back. Sheriff in hand.
Oh,
He gets
nice
it
with that
done.
second. Nice with that
Differential
second,
there
bro.
from second as well. You can't win
Nice
a
with
ball
that
back quite
second.
like that. Great positioning. Tucking himself on as far wide as an angle as he could take. And Sen take a pistol. Like I said, it don't feel like it was holding them, but also they've just been so good in the rifle round situations. They still be able to. Surely this is what it takes to push them over the line to get a 2-1 lead in this series. Now, Sen's man to win, I would say.
Players feeling tested and pressured. Not quite when second side. Runs through the connecting off the oh my goodness. Flash peek on the side. It's going to be Nate knocked down. They want to fight this one too.
What just happened here?
I was going to say it could be overzealous, but these guys are just winning it out regardless.
It already have been delayed. Yeah, we know,
Zekken
man.
and Zelsis is so good. When Zekken backs off, Zelsis flashes himself in. Impossible, and Jonah P purely prioritizing the ult orb there. A shot down, meticulous. Where's he taking the outlaw then? Over on that same off angle that we saw Leaf playing. So Leaf actually might end up taking contact here against the same
going
spot.
on? Sentinels is going to take this map out. I
just
don't know
control
why,
this area rather
but
than
this is
hunt
happening,
for
bro.
a kill, I would imagine, because
These
he's the
guys are
only
going so
player on
crazy
G2
to
pressuring
play
mid.
against with the G2 right now.
Mid control given up by Sen. They have to be scared of this. Enough time has passed now without too much noise. They hear the drone now finally and through main. Knife's not going to be catching on to Trent, so just the full duration out of that drone. He can slowly creep towards A main, take back control. He probably going to be aware of the fact there was that refight, hard refight from Zelsis, a bit of a conditioning from him, so G2 need to be wary. They could pounce on their bonus.
Drone doesn't catch onto Jorgamo. Isn't deep enough to force out his gate crash either. No threat of the suppression, and this was what we were talking about earlier.
Oh my god!
What is
oh
that?
my god!
Are you kidding me?
I need a
though. He plays in
reply.
that spot himself
I
all the
need a
time.
fucking
Just knows across
reply,
the box, that's a
bro.
hard shot to
Hell
hit.
fuck.
This
Even
one,
if you notice somebody there.
this timing might be hard to hit.
Still going for it? Wait, he's calling the players back over towards
Oh.
B.
He's using the trademark for info, trying to clear that spot, and Bang was in that spot just a moment ago.
Oh my god, Jesus.
And just that Jorgamo insert in through mid. Thriving in the chaos, a deep flash into the corner and Array has no
Oh,
options
nice. Flawless.
whatsoever.
Flawless
from
run.
G2. Well navigated against the SEN bonus. There could have been danger there.
And I am already, and this is very early to say this, but I'm already a little worried about what SEN are doing in mid. They committed super heavy to the B trap, and that's fine. But they had a single Teho drone to re-clear through middle there, and otherwise, it looked like Jorg could basically run around and in the late part of the round do whatever he wanted. As soon as one of the G2 players gets a sniff of that, it's going to be difficult for SEN to hold on. One of the goals might be to try to force out that Teho drone as early in the round as you possibly can, because then it applies max pressure later on. Flash, fake teleport.
Yeah, really creating the threats in the back of the minds of the SEN players.
Paranoia from Narrate, but no re-clear actually, so they used the Omen flash, but still have to watch mid.
Spot in the corner as Zelsis throws out the knife. Largely dodged, I believe, in play. Shock darts up against it.
Oh my god.
It's still going to be good for it. Now,
Zelsis is
trying to
so
play himself back
criminal.
in, but Jorgamo's way ahead of it.
Oh!
I mean, what an adjustment.
Oh!
They're picking centerpieces with their defense.
mid is such a gap right now, and
They are
all of the rotates have to go through Spawn.
They are
They're so late, these
saving. They are
rotates. Second
saving,
can't even
bro.
connect with
They're
the rest of the
fucking
team.
saving,
It's going to be a
man.
3-person save.
Saving, bro.
It's not
They're
really
saving,
the
man.
A
They're
anchoring that is the
saving.
problem in this round, even though it might look like that because they lost the site. It's the fact that you can't get reinforcements in there.
Yeah, losing control early, there needs to be clear it.
Yeah, and that's why I'm saying, even though it's right at the beginning of this half, it already is worrying because the protocols are not really there. You saw this one, they're able to close a paranoia. You've got to respect. In his thinking, well, I'm throwing that forward. John is then supposed to be under a smoke. They're not willing to commit to that. Alright, fair enough. Joe didn't like that skin that he was using. He'd like a different one, please.
Sure, that was intentional.
But you've put yourself in a rough spot here, Sen, actually, because it looked like they were going to run away with... And now they've got themselves in a spot where Jorg and Jonah P can sync up some kind of Yoru Breach combo. It's a bit concerning. G2 could close the gap.
The salvos, there's little gaps and windows
Are
of
these
play
guys
there.
gonna be making up?
Spot to
Yes,
see if
there
they
is
can
a
see
possibility
them.
that
They
we're winning.
notice
G2 gonna be main comeback if
It's
they
apparent
guys
from
just
the previous
made
round at
mistake
least.
by mistakes.
Fake TP again.
Like, do not go for
Ray
the
will
mid.
have heard that. Does it
Do
force
not
out drone
focus on
from
mid.
John?
Give perfect timing calls.
Yeah, I mean,
Don't fucking
droning this early
live
on in the round is
aside.
terrible. 'Cause
Just
then
take a fight.
You've just got nothing to give you info when they might be going for an exec at the minute mark.
But this is literally rinse and repeat of what we just saw. I mean, G2 can go into this A hit, wait the drone.
Second with that operator, first players from B.
And just whoops, get the hell out of there.
But there's just only one player.
And still
Oh, Liv, get it out from there with the operator!
Yeah, this is it. Risks need to be taken, but that's a roll in front, and it's going to be knocking you sky high. Zelsis, can he still stay alive and kicking? Threading the needle, Trent just trying to get himself way into the side here, but a spam and an off offloaded with the ult. I mean, Zelsis is just using that just to try and survive. Up through mid though. That is creeping. Leaf still that Pakistan play.
Oh my god, Liv.
And this is the danger. As you mentioned,
Liv
there's
is
still
still
27
playing in
seconds
the
to play
mid.
with Bang. Gonna be the playmaker once more. He's been doing it over and over again. Time is going to be at the back of his mind, but he doesn't know where Leaf is still creeping. He can't really hard commit to these players that are working their way over towards B. Plant out towards Cliff. Deep flash dodged. And Leaf's still there. He's holding it down.
Oh my god.
Bang! Creeping closer onto the side now, and he's applying pressure of his own. He's trying to get Sentinel straight back into this fight.
Bro, what?
Good move from Jonah P.
What?
Reload out into the open, and Jonah P and Zelsis forced to do a lot into this spot, and the backstab finally comes through.
That round is chaos.
Zelsos
Absolute
made
chaos.
that.
Mistake very often. Bang and John QT do a good job of applying pressure.
No more sign on the mic. You hear me?
Yes, sir.
Give me a fist bump. I just need to...
Nah.
Won't hear that. What does he need? Probably some tactical adjustment.
I don't know. I mean, it sounds more like I would imagine, and this is speculation at this point, that it's a little similar to what we were talking about earlier. In prior games. Do you remember we showcased this clip of Narrate after they won the game against Loud, and he was like, I can't win these fair fights. Yeah. Like, I think a lot of the way that Narrate is emotionally attached to the game is attached to his own performance and his ability to win fair gun duels. How many fair gun duels has Narrate taken on defense? He keeps getting timing by a player up mid. Yeah. So like, Narrate's job is to plug the gap in mid, and he keeps having somebody like Jorg or Leaf take a timing against him. So if I had to speculate, I think Narrate's just saying, like, I need some fair fights in mid. I need you guys to actually clear this gap with me. And I'll stop signing on the microphone.
And this is Sentinel despite winning that last round, and Could be many reasons for it. Honestly, it could be the chaos of that round. I mean, it's the panic button, Kaplan.
It's the mid gap. I'm telling you, it's the mid gap. Even in that round that they won just then in round 17, there's an enormous mid gap, and Narrate is clearly not happy about having to deal with it himself. And I would agree. I don't think they're doing a good job of defending against it. So, what's the adjustment from Kaplan? Are they going to fight mid? Are they going to off mid?
It's like, I mean,
Narrate is just going to tuck himself into here.
So, they know the gate crash is only going up on the left side of mid. Just be smoke up when I hear it, play anti-flash, see if they can peek, and this time, okay, it's a committal with a dimensional drift, so there's no punish in sight, and Jogamo's going to be getting a lot of information. This is a different twist into it, despite the adjustments that Sen are trying to make. It's a fault line going its way forward. Jogamo needs to really respect, I think, that they've got a variety of players just tapping away with the bullets there, crossing them up onto the angles. Leaf has been dealt with, he was cut up onto the side. There's still no plant here for G2. Time has been bought for these SEN players, and they are rapidly approaching. Hold on, there's a timing!
Oh my god, Jogamo with that thing, bro.
Drone at his feet. Not worried about it. No defense inside, and with that heaven control, an extra difficulty now. Lay it down for the SEN.
Wait.
With the op into the hands of Zekken. He has to be a passive player. It's the rest of his team that need to step up, and Bank does so.
I don't
onto the site now.
Making
sure to apply that pressure evenly, but they still need to worry about this heaven player, and they might be trying to catch him here onto the timing, and yes, Narrate's caught him. Here's the danger, spamming down onto them. It's bullets raining from above. Narrate can stick this one. The smoke's into their faces, and what is the next option? It's a pull. Still got half though. These players are so low. Wait a minute.
Oh
wait
my
a
god,
minute.
it's impossible.
Trent is pulling off just an absolute miracle. Despite the win con, Second has no choice just to watch from the sidelines here and try and survive away from the sphere, but just encased by it. There's no saving that operator.
And that's a pretty big problem for Sentinels, because now their eco's in a really rough spot too. Zekken's one away from Bladestorm. Maybe they can make a play for an orb. But it's all of the chip damage that was done earlier that allows the spam to come through. The spam is really unreliable now, but it's a good plant position.
Bro, mega fucking buzzing.
And look at that. I mean, that's not over mic. You've got to remember that the coaches are not live to the players in that spot. So Kaplan's not worried about throwing off the team morale, but even from the snippet we heard earlier, you know that Sen are starting to feel very frustrated about this, despite being in the lead. It's a weird spot. They're in the lead, but they're almost more frustrated than G2 are right now.
They can feel the momentum slipping away from them. The money in this round, not great. Inside the smoke. G2 got to be aware of the fact that there is some danger here, and yet you can see Bang, he's trying to replenish the smoke that he was in. Just gets caught with the random spam. That's underhanded.
Oh my god.
Blind himself. Oh, what's happening? They're chasing the kills down. G2 not really willing to let anybody on SEN survive, and decision made for them. Don't want to give away too many more ults when G2 are so much closer to it. I mean, 2 away. Gonna try and play for the long con here, but Sentinels are struggling to get a grip into this half.
They certainly are. Now, previous round, they had a game plan. Kaplan gave them a game plan coming out of the attack timeout, but they couldn't really execute it because Jogamo had Yoru ult. So it just broke whatever they were trying. Do they go back to that game plan? Are they going to stick with what their coach told them, or do we see an adjustment? They have a lot of ultimates, but Sen's comp, I don't know, like your Omen ult and your Bladestorm aren't necessarily doing too much unless Zekken's frying. But the Cosmic Divide is definitely going to put a bit of a difference into the retake.
Heavy stack of players from Sentinels. Fault line, 2 of them stunned up. In through the smoke as well, trying to take these timings, and they're fighting ahead of it. This is a difference. Sen trying to take it, a bit of argy-bargy onto the side. Jonah P just spots the top of the cranium, but not expecting the backstab. Narrate was there, ready with open arms.
Heavy stack on B. G2 not ready for it. They were expecting, I've got to imagine, Sen to be more worried about mid, based on the conditioning prior. Sen are like, nah, we'll just fight them. When we hear noise, we will simply fight them, and then we'll cover the lurk timing later. This should be unwinnable for G2.
With the spike drop down into the open, they've got Celsius, I believe, taking contact just with the slightest of jiggles. Sees it. And here's the... Oh, wait a second. Narrate losing that fight.
That's a whiff.
It adds difficulties.
The flank, though. The flank from John.
Yeah. He's got to be the savior for them. They can't stop the plant, But they still have a very good chance of winning this round, assuming the timing is taken. Well, Armageddon's not going to give away the position. It's going to push them straight into his grass, though, and it's intelligent at that. It's the major benefit of it.
Oh!
John, he's lucky to be alive there, but with it, he gets the information he was looking for. They know where Trent is. Stunned up, out into the corner. Still loses it, but it's an impossibility at this point.
That's good, that's good, that's good, that's good.
SEN are able to get up to 11.
Let's see if this game plan continues from Sentinels. They're 2 away. 2 rounds away from being able to take both map picks from G2 with really nice ideas. But most of the preset ideas came in the first half, and now they're kind of scrambling. It's a lot of improv stuff, audible calls, trying to figure out and adapt on the fly. So far, though, the adjustment in that round that worked was heavy fight the site. Tried to flood in, tried to anchor, stack the site that G2 are going for, and worry about the mid lurk later. If Leaf realizes that, he might be able to find a quicker lurk time, and there's always a counter. But it just comes down to identifying what your opponents are going to be doing. That is not where he wanted the trademark. He was trying to clear out a potential push-up.
Yeah, that timing's been missed for him, so... Still going to be taking it. He's lurking his way up through mid. And like you said, SEN are just willing to give up the entirety of that middle section. Trust that they can flood defend in time if the hit does start to come in. I mean, it's a slow going for G2. Early drone.
Early drone. And now they don't have much to reclear mid. They're going to have to do it with bodies.
Drone forwards. Race cut to the side. That's a rolling thunder that will be connecting. Still survives, still stays. Tethered onto the corner. He's going to be TPing. Repositions. In through the smoke as well. He's cut up the ankles. I don't know where this guy is playing from. It's a pivot. And Jorgemo's still trying to play this one forwards, but he finally takes that timing. Up to go straight through mid. Can't win the fight out though from those straggling players, and Sentinels have an opening. A window for them. Valent forced to get off that plant. It's danger there with the salvos raining down from above, but John is low. Knives in the hands of Zekken. What is the play they're going to cook up in this spot?
One blade.
Cosmic Divide.
Just one blade
to be
force
SEN forwards. Gives Valent that space to reposition. Playing himself a little bit back. There's a dash forwards. It was saved just for this. One with a stun, anything to try and coordinate this attempt, and they have cleared up most of the side. They've got to know these players playing behind pillar.
It's not a good plan.
Not really. They have to double up now and take this fight towards them, but still no kills that could be earned by G2. Despite it not being a good plan, time is ticking. It's getting away from Sentinels here. They need to force the issue. Salvos out wide. That's what they were waiting for.
Oh my God, John Cutie with the...
Yes, just about.
John Cutie with that thing, bro.
Tons of time for SEN to be able to get it across the line.
My God.
What patience from SEN. A second on the clock to spare. And they used all of that time to wait for John's util to come back online.
Yeah.
They used the stun updraft dash to clear any post-plant positions that were going to be close. And then the salvo pushes everybody into both of the SEN players on the retake.
Insane levels of discipline required to wait that out when the time is ticking at that degree.
Yeah,
and the difference of a second, you're waiting for the cooldown to come back on.
I mean, an incredible spray transfer too from John, who's been amazing in this series. He has looked so good.
SEN up to 12. One more step is all they need to take the lead in this best-of-5 grand finals.
Jorgemo going for the Euro ult, up mid again.
He's looking for that information.
Hasn't found Narrate.
Yeah, spots the one. Clear out most of the way towards heaven as well.
Full retake. Now you're playing this against a Cosmic Divide from Bang, so on-site post-plant positions are probably going to be required.
They're picking it out like they are somewhat aware, but G2, a couple of players off onto the side as a Cosmic Divide to split them up, and that's why Trent is playing up and close and personal. The full line, just a slight whiffage, but still the kills are raining down upon them. Jordan TP back into the spawn angle, I believe. Tried to cut it up behind them. It dealt with it, at least partially. The salvos now drop down onto the cliffside. Slide down the way! Drop down! And Trent has no choice but to just fire a last-ditch effort, anything to survive this. John's found the kill. Second under the fuse, the slightest of taps, and Jonah B is nowhere near. It's inevitable, and with him falling, Sentinels take the lead.
Bro, that initiator is so fucked. That initiator is so fucked. You know what I'm saying, bro? That initiator is so fucked.
On track.
I don't know. Ever since they played that replay with the comms,
and yet they find
they're gonna go slur for slur in the back room. I'm just playing.
The pistol desperately needed too to set them on the right track. But a 13-9 victory, upsetting G2 on the 2 maps so far in the BO5 that they picked.
You start. You start. You start.
And Celsius, from what we've heard in the comms, guiding the ship beautifully.
Yeah. Just a
Ultimate
crucial
いけるぜ
for the team when it's needed as well, keeping everybody's mental resilience in check.
Ultimate
That's the big
いける
best of 5. Sometimes it doesn't come down to the strategy, and it did to some degree, but you have to.
Who do you think rips it the most? That's got to be GMD. GMD's slurp per minute is high. It's super high. GMD's slurp per minute might be legit Faker's APM in League of Legends. I'm dead serious. It might be Faker level APM in League of Legends. His SPM. Man, that spray transfer legit one of the good. That 11-10 we got. Oh yeah. Man. I gotta go make a protein shake. Job, get back. Make a protein shake quick.
I've got a bunch of different mice.
When you find the one, you know it's the one.
이게 제일 좋은 것 같아요.
Look at this. Isn't this perfect?
뭐가 만들었는지 알려주는 것도 같이 들어있고.
This mouse is ready for a bash.
It's Pulsar by me.
It's by me.
It's also by you.
ahead in the series and now just one away from claiming their second kickoff trophy for 2 years running. Welcome back to VCT Americas. I wanted to talk quick about that competition from Sentinels and how their double smoke comp was so powerful on the attacking side. They're running the Astra Omen on this map, which is rather unusual. The biggest strength of it is how they can play around their map. This is an early round 4, the first rifle round of the game, but it's like every round in SEN. You see them having 2 smokes, one right there, one right there. Essentially cutting off all of the normal lines that defenders are going to want to peek out, look down this area, and take control of it on this map. What that does is constantly threatens a walk-up. And because they have double smokes, they can do that every single round while still having enough smokes to go into an execute, unlike solo smokes where you'd end up waiting 40 seconds before an exec can come. And let's see how that plays out in this round. You see, G2 is starting with 2 players in mid. Their breach is holding vents, which was broken at the very beginning of the round by Sentinels. The Astra's holding here, and you also have the tripwire there. Because of the pressure, there's only actually 1 player on this A site. And as I speed this up a little bit, there's going to be players are preoccupied. It's a free site. Because the spike is about to come down. And look at the positioning. You still have a player in with a winning post plant, they'll close this round out on their attacking side to get up and now away. Let's check in now with White and GG who are standing by.
Thank you so much for that, Mimi. Yes, we decided to come amongst the people in the arena. Yeah. Now, of course, you have Sentinels. They're currently up in this series 2-1. 1 step away from winning kickoff. Wyatt, we heard in the piece earlier, Lee was talking about how this Sentinels team really relied on heroics. But it truly was a heroics and some damn good gameplay.
Definitely. We were talking about that before these two teams matched up the first time. Not come to fruition. Certainly not on this where they got torched by G2. Starting on the attack side with that confidence, maybe it was really important. And then over on defense, clutching out those post plants. Yeah. 2v2s with John stepping up with great utility. Finish line. Thrilled to see this go to Fracture, which is going to be so interesting given that we haven't played it yet. Yeah, we don't know what is in store for us from either side.
Yeah, there's a lot of opportunities here without a doubt. Something you want to see in Fracture, perhaps?
I'm certainly
to see a lot. I didn't see the sun once today.
Again, going back to these being the 2 teams that have really leaned into what may be the best meta, playing these new agents, and so I expect to see that on Fracture where they really thrive. We've seen plenty of other teams.
Hens cutout face?
Here too. Yeah, well,
any Sabrosa cutout face or not yet?
Here, right?
You haven't made it that far yet?
Big opportunity here for Sentinels to be able to close it up. But the
I'll pay somebody $200 tomorrow. I want to see you in the arena. I'm serious.
I don't know. Let's ask the audience here. How do you guys see? You think G2 can make map 5 happen?
The ball Up 2 a.m. I took my magnesium pill, so I need Sentinel to win this next map so I can go to bed after, because when I take this magnesium pill, I have about 22 minutes in my body before I start getting hella fucking tired. Magnesium glycinate to be precise. No honey packs? Bro, I still didn't order some honey packs. Or should we just like play all night? What is Sabrosa doing? How do you know? Oh, he's dead. How do you know? I never learned that. Sabrosa bot actually goes 7 hour 40 in? Damn. That's W. W 11-hour stream? I haven't done that in like a month. 1 month. We're back. Why not stream on YouTube? I'll fix it tomorrow. Tomorrow I'm gonna fix the restream shit. 5 years? What do you mean more than a month? I did literally a 28-hour stream at the start of this year. You guys already forgot? Really?
With the same energy they had in 2024.
It's also
That's not even cap. I swear I did a 28-hour stream at the start of this year.
Almost on the edge of,
But Twitch scammed us and took all our earnings in January.
But it would be another trophy denied, as it was last year.
Said maybe the VOD did, right? I'm not gonna take it back. Say wallah, wallah.
And they couldn't find a trophy left. Have they got a choking problem? Is it more to do with their...
We always forget about the great things I did. You guys like to remember the hour 30 stream, the 2-hour streams, never the 28-hour. I'm gonna just start streaming 12 hours a day. I wish I had a gym at my place.
That's why we haven't seen Sentinels play in VCT this.
We're watching this. If you win, I'll let you hit. Fucking Chagamo, I know you're watching this. If you win, I'll let you hit. Fucking
What?
Montoya, por favor, Montoya. Montoya, por favor.
We know that this team is extremely coordinated with those kind of players. You have to be worried about the traps, and they have
Montoya. Montoya, por favor.
Second on the Yoru. To
no, I'm just saying Apple Jam. I'm just saying the revenue in January is usually like horrible. But it's not just for everything. Anything like ad related. Hey, Arc Assassin in the 44, best streamer on that. PSN Bear plays tomorrow, and do you play tomorrow? Give me the chat.
Zelsis started around there and then slips in front, but G2's pistol.
Oh yeah, M80. No, it's.
That's an unreal map. Around there and then slips in front, but G2's pistol walking through dish. They ran the same pistol previously.
Realizing it's the potential opener. Hello, suppression's a second. He actually can't evacuate away from this play. The Sal was pushing him back, but this is a call by Sentinels. They want to fight this one forwards into the spawn, see if they can catch Trent unaware. He's got to hear these rumble of the footsteps, and he's playing the slightest of off angles right by the ropes as well. He has an exit strategy, but he might just want to take the fights to them. He does just that. Sentinels with a two-player disadvantage now. To see if they can make risks and plays of their own, but the rate is just swept away. G2
flawless.
Flawless.
Not even single damage, bro. Not even single pistol damage. Damn, craziest pistol round ever that I have seen in my life. Not even single damage, bro.
If you're the solo player taking hauls in your ranked games like that, tuck into that corner.
Not even one person. Not even one person. Believe me. Not even one person.
You were telling a story about it being really down to execution, ideas, your preparation. G2 have found an empty B site over here as well. There is some element of luck sometimes on Fracture, of whether the defense decides to go aggressive in a certain area.
4 lanes, the coin flip.
There is more of that in this map than most others.
Zelsis. Oh, he just peeks his gun out, tracking the boombot in case he needed to swiftly get rid of it, but it's going to be a plan down for G2. Everybody up and ready to take this one. Not just that, I mean, the post-man positions are pretty impeccable. Tower control, main control. It's going to be hard for Sen to get anything done.
Another big thing that the Yoru doesn't give you, if we want to talk about comp analysis just for a moment as well, is the raise nade for plant denial. You still have salvos, you still have aftershock. Sen are not going to be too worried about that kind of stuff, but they don't have as much utility. See how that kind of stuff plays out.
And the hunt begins for a couple of kills, see if he can string together the ults, get them online nice and early.
Nobody too close though. Jog not given as many orbs as perhaps he was hunting for, hungry for. But there's yet to be a kill from the side of Sentinels. Double flawless.
Yeah, just spotting it. Betrayed by the bundle, it's unfortunate.
The Sen bundle giveth and the Sen bundle taketh away.
This is their chance for Sentinels to get back into things. A bit more
Again,
even footing. In
flawless.
fact,
Yes, sir.
Largely on the side of Sentinels when it comes to that economy.
Who do you
It's the
support?
pistol round setup again.
Sentinel.
Trent, the only player towards Hall's side. His job to wait for a push, to drone, to get information, and then potentially.
But the thing is, I don't love either G2 because of they made a lot
like
of
Zekken.
Noise being made. Seems to be
you know,
an awareness from the Sentinels players, but Smokes are going to be dividing up the site now. It's all up onto G2.
oh my god, look at the juggle
Making
gameplay,
to conquer.
bro.
And speaking of that, I mean, Sentinels just overwhelmed Trent from that spot, putting him into a really uncomfortable position. With him gone, they don't have to worry about the A main flank too much, and G2 don't really have the weaponry to be taking straight up duels here.
They're pushing spawn.
Yeah, risk to their own. Zeltses just layering down and raining them down with lead on top of it, man. Still from the back, Leaf, a lot to contest with there. Sound cues all around him, and so pretty good answer back by Sentinels.
It's a bit strange to run a bonus round that's exactly the same as your pistol round, because you've already given them a chance to learn the lessons from that first loss. And here the lesson was, we need to be earlier onto Trent. We can't allow him to just get back into that passive position already. And they caught him with a wave of flashes. Breach flash, Yoru flash.
Let's go!
And then they could turn around and deal with the pack from G2.
Critically as well, I mean, G2 haven't been able to keep the ball rolling in terms of ultimates gained.
No.
There's 4 orbs to choose from on Fracture. If you take it slow and steady, you might be able to make your way towards it. It's part of the danger on this map.
Last time we saw G2 play, they were fast tempo, which is a little bit unusual. You expect them to be more of that slower defaulting team. But on this map, they just ran a bunch of fast set plays.
Oh, the repeat, put a boom in your face just makes it a bit of a mistake there still. It's answered back. That was John QT just layering down that covering fire. And the Thorns, that's a sound cue.
Yeah, that's so good.
Leave, here's the reposition, a bang, and knows to punish. Conventional drift going to be expended though. Zekken has got to do something to try and turn the tide of this fight. Sweeping their way out through the smokes. A bit of ground's going to be gained down through and wide.
That's good.
G2
That's
running down these players.
That's a disgusting kill onto Zekken towards the end of his dimensional drift. Like I was saying, G2, they've got a decent playbook on this map. A lot of it, though, was quick, well-coordinated executes, splits. Trying to use overwhelming utility advantages. This is very nice, as you pointed out. The audio cue given there. The other thing, though, that G2 was super ready for was any kind of flood attempt. It's not just the Thorns, they were also, you know, eyes on those smokes, waiting for Bang to run through with a flash. And the silver lining around G2 not getting early ults online is that they're about to access a immediate, enormous arsenal.
Senna playing a bit more loose onto the other side of things, just trying to earn up ults of their own. They grabbed an orb for Zeltses. He has the sealed garden if they get into position. So Zekken has really got to hold on to spawn control. His team are here. Nades, push them back in case there is that flood attempt. A bit of spam. Oh, Leaf. Gotta be careful. Gotta be really careful like that. Here's that ult. I just talked about it. Be playing a bit of a difference. Leaf goes down, though. That's an aftershock. Meant to deal with this one. Shorty in hand. He's up on the high ground. Just laying down death from above. Still, it's Sentinels managed to regain control of the side. It comes down to the spam straight down main. These players are toppling Sentinels. It looked like they had an advantage, but just like that, turn of a dime, it's all gone the wrong way. A tap, they've earned half, but guns out wide.
Now Valen's
got the ult, orbital strike. Your outs are dwindling. Your options are out. And what can Zekken do? Salvos to work against. The rapid spike approaching. He's forced to save it away.
Zekken had a decent opportunity, actually, of being able to get a kill on sand that could maybe have turned something. G2 in odd post-plant spots there, scramble away with a victory. That's a Jorgamo play if I've ever seen one. But they're relying on spam here to be able to get the job done. And then just got the ult online. Yeah.
Well played, boys. Well played. Well played. This is what as a captain, bro.
Now for G2.
This is what you need as a coach.
This is
you know
very concerning for Zen.
He
G2
never
weren't
give up.
forced to use them early in the half. And now, assuming they can navigate an anti-eco, it's going to be really difficult for SEN to win any of these eco swing rounds.
Go for heaven? What is that? Oh, just, okay.
All right,
Go
so
attempt to nav it, yeah.
Yeah, stopping any kind of flood.
Bang is feeling the heat. My God, what a shot to hit. But they know where he is now with only 2 bullets left to work with. It's a quick cleanup indeed by Jonah P. The Thorns popped off as the flood attempt is occurring. Sentinels just trapped up in the brambles. No chance in hell to see if they can turn the tide of that fight.
I think G2 have got really solid awareness of how to stop these flood attempts from coming through. It'd have to be a 1v4.
Zekken has done crazy stuff in the past, but he doesn't know where the SAM player is. Flashback, perfect timing. Jonah P just spams it down even though he was blinded up. 5-1.
And still big ultimates available for G2, right?
Oh
I mean,
my.
enormous ultimates available.
They're huge.
In fact, though, SEN have caught up a little bit. But this round is going to mean everything for the first half. SEN down 5-1. And if they lose this, they'll have invested a bunch of ultimates. Their guns are going to be mostly disappearing.
It's very all in from SEN.
It's their pistol round strat again. They're waiting to take contact, holding the fault line.
Pixel angle play by Zekken. He's not going to be caught though. Has the TP to get back and away. He is anchoring hard onto the site. Not sure if they heard that one. As a rolling thunder clears his way through. Oh my, the clone on top to try and fake and obfuscate where he could be hiding, but he cannot escape from that Jorgamo sightline. Bang! Makes an attempt of it, putting a squeeze onto the side players, but G2 are just overwhelming it, man. Holding it down, they know what to expect.
And so much good utility to stop the flood from coming through. Jorg deliberately got breach ulted there, by the way. He got catapulted in by his own breach. He's got Blast Pack and Rolling Thunder sending him in.
That's a hell of a lot of momentum.
And that's what I'm talking about. SEN, they gotta save this, and they might be able to pull together a buy. They got 1,000 credits in the bank on a few of their players. John and Zelsis don't need to rebuy armor. You know, they'll be able to get something going, but they've used big ultimates.
Yeah.
And now G2 still have Visal, Armageddon. They are completely running away with this map.
Incredibly tricky spot for SEN to be in. And at this point as well, if they make the adjustments, I mean, G2, they've conditioned them heavily over towards A. They could just turn the side over towards B.
I'm already starting to think, it's way too early, by the way, but I'm already starting to think about Haven and the fact that we haven't seen either of these teams there.
No, it's been a kind of a soft ban for both of them, almost a perma, where they just have been avoiding it.
And yet it's the decider for the trophy if G2 continue this momentum.
It's hard to stop teams. Yeah, I mean, I do like the play from Zekken. He fake clones over the top just in case, but I think with the clone just on top of the wall, it kind of gives it away that that's not the real one.
You don't think that's reasonable?
It's cheeky, but doesn't quite work out for them, and it forces the timeout from SEN, as we were saying, because this is a map that is just rapidly dwindling, getting away from them. It's 6-1 currently for G2.
And honestly, is there anything that complicated about what G2 are doing? It's not tough for John to get the read on. They're running splits on them. They're picking A or B, and they're running a split. But SEN can't stop them. And SEN can't get Flood rotates through because they're getting blocked by the Thorns, by the Brim Molly. The utility is just creating a clear pathway for G2 to get into the site. And unless Sentinels have really good set retakes, and maybe that could be the answer, focusing on set retakes and focusing on early round aggression in a certain area, so that if you realize it's an A split early on, you can go and take tree, go take arcade, and at least have a flank going in the retake, so that you're not all stuck. But these site anchor players are just getting completely left on an island.
And here's where the conditioning plays a part, because it's all been A, and now G2 looking over towards B main.
Okay, but also, look at Zelsis. How is he going to be able to get value from this spot? I mean, you're about to face so much util, and there is no help coming.
I mean, Trent's holding onto the Armageddon. This is probably going to be used to clear the way, especially if this drone spots in which no one is here.
But SEN are react pushing.
Right here, yeah, they're through. Already on through the choke point. It's a fault line. Armageddon, there's no chance.
You're done so.
You're done so. straight into the open arms and the fire in line the G2 were waiting for. And look at this read! It's the wall, I think, that was triggered. They got to know that there was something up on towards the flank. Something was smelling up, and it's onto Zekken! Layering down. That's suppressive fire indeed. Gets the one. Still alive, 56 health to work with. He's making his way forward. John QT stops him at the front door. Sorely needed here for Sentinels.
And Zekken relocates, takes the rope. Oh, and John is too good for it.
Nice.
What a day for John QT. Captain IGL of Sentinels guides them to their second round. So it was that adjustment I was talking about, trying to push out the opposite side of the map so that you have a flank going on. And G2, they actually did read it, as you were saying. The Vice Wall gave them the cue. They just couldn't win the fight at tree. Oh. And they couldn't get past John.
I took care of it.
Is that going to work as a tactical adjustment, a strategic adjustment for the rest of the half? There's 4 rounds left to be played. Does it force G2 to slow down?
Very spread out. This is an awkward smoke to try and get past.
They actually are defaulting for the first time here, G2.
Yeah.
They've not just picked a strat from the playbook.
League didn't get any acknowledgement from the deep flash that he just threw out there through the smoke, so they know that B main was clear.
But Sentinels weren't simply picking a timing and pushing. They were using the fact that Zellsis knew it was a B hit to push out holes. So the fact that G2 are defaulting right now, it's not really putting a threat in the mind of Sen.
Oh, this might be a perfect timing. Wait a minute, it's an
The
aftershock.
aftershock. Nice read.
Yeah, John barely gets out of dodge. They know the breach is going to be on the south side with a play like that. Drone of their own as well. Clears the way through A main, but this is all 5 players grouped up. Normally they've been opting into the A splits. You can see eyes are trained. Sentinels are worried about the potential threat of drop, and if they try and contact play into it, it's a Steel Garden. Respect shown. Smoke split up the site. Util of their own going to be used and expended, trying to slow them all the way down, but Jogamo's straight in there.
It's amazing retake ultimates here for Sentinels. Zekken can give them full info for the breach ult.
And here it is, Dimensional Drift. It's going to point into the direction for his team to let loose, really. As you mentioned, potential there with a breach ult, but John QT has gone down. Jogamo's found one onto Bang as well. And the ults let loose. There's 20 seconds left into this. Zeken's just trying to buy some time for the rest of his team to get in. He could be the difference maker. 13 seconds, he needs to clear this guy up. He's got 1 for his troubles, but it's all answered. G2, lock and key is what he got to side under. Zellsis creeping around the corners, but even the drop just being watched for. 7-2 now. That scoreline, just when you think Sentinels are being able to come up with some answers.
I'm not even sure I could tell you exactly how G2 won that situation. Sen had a good setup. It looked like they'd got all the info that they needed, and then G2 got a couple of kills that seemed like they came out of nowhere. There's one onto John, and there's the second onto Bang. And that put them in a devastating spot. John got stuck in a corner, but Bang's death, you got to credit to Jogamo actually getting proactive and working his way through the smoke.
Yeah.
And another tactical timeout being called here for Sentinels. They're in a tough spot. 7-2 down. Back and forth game here. What a best of 5 we've been treated to. And it shows you that I think the map picks are a little bit fraudulent in these kind of BO5 situations. Both teams doing better on the maps that they didn't pick.
And that comes down to, I think, Sen putting in a lot of preparation, knowing that they were going to be going onto those maps.
Yeah,
they had clear ideas there, but
they should have had available anti for this map as well, actually, because we've seen G2 play it, albeit only once. And Sen, I don't think have been able to come up with the right answers early enough to G2's overwhelming executes.
You can barely breathe, man. You're trying to anchor into that spot. Like you said, I mean, it's just flashes, stuns, thorns through the smokes. There's no flood attempt, there's no anchor attempt. You can't do it.
The one positive for Sentinels is that when they get on the attack side, they could do similar stuff themselves.
Oh, yeah.
They still have all the same tools, albeit that slight difference between the Yoru and the Raze.
Gives you extra options, though, if they lean into it. But they need rounds here and now in this first half. You can see that's why Sentinels have used 2 timeouts at this point, and there's a familiar little Molly lineup that's going to be landing, I believe, into the back section of tower. There it is. Clears the way.
And then you've got the salvos following up. If you were in tower this round, you're dead.
Sen playing off-site, though. Aware of that. Don't really have the guns, though, to do a good job of things. Still, that flash actually could have saved it for the retake, but nobody pushes forwards. In fact, I believe it's the Thorns in the smokes again. Just dead it off the call. As soon as they hear that util that's going to be expended.
I mean, Leafs just used another one as well.
Stops them from getting through, but second is the one with a rifle. Hero plays in order, and just the timing unfortunate there. Jorgamo taking a little bit of a swing, flash up through into the corner, but a strike is committed, pushing these players out wide, and there's util in their hands. They're just left looking clueless. G2 in control, looking cold with it, man.
That is beautiful. Leaf has so much impact in this round. Throws down the thorns to stop any kind of flood attempt coming through, and then flanks underneath tunnel to get the wraparound on an area that Zekken had already cleared. When Zekken goes down here, it's like, all right, okay, we don't have arcane control, but neither do they. Little do they know that Leaf is on the prowl. 8-2. And it's looking more and more likely that this trophy is going to get decided on a complete unknown map of Haven.
Yeah, we don't know what to expect. We really don't. Bullets are hitting, connecting, bang, pressing the advantage is to SEN. They're trying to get ahead of these timings that G2 are taking. Works out in their favor, but it's going to be util use pound for pound. And Jonah P push forwards into it to scramble, an attempt of salvage from here. G2 to get that spike back, and it's very apparent which area of the map they're trying to fight over at this point. Sentinels. Ooh, some way or form, they have that advantage.
Flash didn't catch onto John QT somehow there.
Yeah. They got lost in the geometry of the map. Oh my god! Bullets almost landing. One's up and over. Celsius has to respect that, give up that space. Cut noise, playing it slow now.
SEN are pretty happy to just rotate to where the noise has been, though. Here's a Tejo drone to try to get a little more info.
Didn't clear the box. They're worried about sound at the same time, and here's the salvos. Oh, no, there's no gaps to play in! Tap with the Guardians in hand. Leave it just down to Trent, though. It's a 1v2 and offline. Held down. Zekken reveals his hand there. But they're going to take it, I think. They need every single round they can take.
SEN need another.
Yeah, they do.
An 8-4 half, if they could get a pistol. Something that generally has been evading them a little in this series. Maybe it's doable. Narate stepped up when his team needed him in that brawl over towards Halls this round. And they left Zekken and Zelsis Wall alone on B. It's allowing them to stack the sights a little more.
Final round of the first half here on Fracture.
And a B split called. Zelsis under pressure, drops back into sight instead of the safety of Jenny.
Good luck dealing with this. It's just Showstopper unleashed. It's good util. To Molly. Thorns, and he knows the wall's there on top of it. Out of the way, the fuse is going to be running out. Bang just takes the timing. Pushes straight past it. The initiative seized there by SEN. Spike dropped down into no man's land. Now Trent has earned himself an ult, but it's a 2v5. And with these players topple the ult, can't take that one into the next half. Sentinels done enough here. 4 rounds.
Pretty great. Honestly, that is the adjustment that SEN were looking for. Feels a bit like the end of Abyss, where it took them a while, but they eventually got the read on how to play against G2. A flawless to end the half, makes things doable at 8-4. They probably need a pistol, but at the same time, they've got a very similar comp on attack, so it might just end up being overwhelming execs from them.
Could just be that snowball potential, the exits coming through, attack side, whatever it is. But listen, we're going to send it down to GB and River down in the crowd. Let's send it down to them now.
Yes, we are. I'm joined by Paul here, a person that I grabbed from the crowd to participate in this game. Paul, where are you from, buddy?
The Martinez, California.
Hey, we got a local Californian in the house, guys. Give it up, give it up. Now, let's get into this real fast. The name of the game is Chuck the Raisinades into the bucket. Riv is in the middle of the crowd, and you got a bunch of Raisinades to toss into the crowd. I mean, the bucket, whichever you decide. Let's go ahead and do this. 3, 2, 1, go!
Oh, almost, a little more.
Whatever you do, don't hit the jib. That costs a lot of money.
Don't worry, abilities don't kill everyone.
Yeah, that's true.
There it is.
Here. Yeah, hold this.
Oh,
and then I'm gonna toss them over here. Oh no! Oh
Keep it coming. Keep it coming.
Oh no! There are grenades everywhere.
Almost.
Oh! Oh man, it's almost as if
now.
I'm doing this intentionally.
He's launching.
All right,
he cares about the community.
Riv, come on. Hold on.
Oh, stolen.
Riv, hit it. Catch it, Riv.
That was not your attempt, GB.
I'm trying.
Another.
I'm trying. Oh, we got a few
another.
more.
And another. Okay, not that one.
Oh! Go, go. Jet knife to the bucket. Go, believe in yourself. You can accomplish it. Maybe not that one. It's okay. You don't get to keep the bucket, though. Don't get to keep the bucket. No bucket. Hey, guys, give it up for Paul. Riv, how many did we get?
We got
3. 3! Let's go! Let's go, Paul. I'll give you some free stuff as well. But, folks, let's get back into the game and do this bad boy. Come on, give me energy!
And there's a lot on the line here for Sentinels. The pistol round.
You know what? I'm
That's all he
getting
needed.
scared, bro.
Currently 8-4 with G2 versus Sen.
Genuinely, I can't control.
A decider map here for that trophy. It's the grand finals, of course, of our kickoff here in America's 2025. Both of these teams are really pushing each other.
You guys just watch.
The adaptations, the hits need to be coming through.
And a big clash.
Fired, yeah, and this is it. Did you order a little bit of argy-bargy? Because you might be getting it here. And now off the contact. Phone line. It's a little bit delayed, and they want to take it one step further. Narrate are committed. Flash will not save you. It's a 3-piece. Ordered up nice and pretty. Jorgmo delivers it to his team.
Are they going to be able to find the timing here? Leaf tucked in, waiting for it.
What is that? He's turning to reclaim the flash. He's using it for information. He's just missed that mark.
It still should not be winnable for Sentinels because of the Spike's position down here at Dish. But in theory, if John manages to pick up Valen, it could be. Jorg's looking. They've spotted one.
There's an important fight happening over towards the A site.
Yeah.
John wins it.
If John wins it, then Jorg and Trent would have to turn around. There's still 45 seconds here, and Celsius has found that they've backed up. So he was being pressured out from taking this fight, and he's taken some space.
Oh, he's just body blocked the thorns. Jorgen was straight ahead of it.
They're about to double up. John has made the wraparound, and Valen's still looking for him in halls, sand.
Comes down to this fight. Doubled up. Info is going to be gathered here, and yet respect shown by G2. Peppering them with bullets straight through the dish, but they've got the spike and they got themselves out, but there's only 17 seconds to work with. And here's the danger.
G2 have got the read.
Yeah. And planting are potentially, I'm not too sure when the salva's coming online, but Jorgen was already there. Just been using to see if they can push this one by the 6 seconds left. And yeah, when time's running that short, it's open-handed, isn't it? There's your eye by power ace.
That's ridiculous that that's an ace round. Normally the aces are super condensed, put together. But Jorg aces on the pistol, stopping them from getting the spike. I like the setup from Sen, but Jorg just hit the shots.
That's hashtag unlock your ace on social media as well. You're going to have plenty of prizes. But Jorg, yeah, I don't know how you're going to be fitting that one into a Twitter clip, but good luck.
Well, here G2 with another opportunity.
Jorg's 2 away from the ult.
I mean, he's going for it, isn't he? He's going for the ult orb off the back of the salvo pressure. And now he's got the timing to come back and potentially collect some of these kills in sand.
Door open though. Jonah P obviously expects that something's up. Playing this one safely, just a slight jiggle, but potential to be overwhelmed. Jorgen's got a nade, flashed up, blinded, and here's the swing, and a big, oh no! The classic bullet just going wide. Rare whiffage there. Cleaned up in the end, G2. It's flawless, it's 10 rounds. Ults are flourishing. A bonus round is going to be looking increasingly deadly now from them as well. But that showstopper has been earned up.
And I think this is the kind of situation, 6 rounds down, where Jorg has actually managed to work up, because of his ace on the pistol, he's worked his way up to a defensive showstopper. These are the kind of maps where I think Sen, even if they play their absolute best, they're going to need G2 to fumble if they want to be able to lift the trophy at the end of Fracture. They need a bit of help from the gods. Everything seems aligned here for G2. Can Sen find the magic?
Drone opens the door, and Jorgemo's right behind it. That nade, rebound, it's almost perfect. Damage done. Ray survives. So Lazar's util in hand as well for this re-clear coming through. Drone, see what it spots off. And here's an attempt of it. Zekken steps forwards, Trendo quick on the trigger and the trade.
They got rid of Jorgemo though, which means no showstopper. So that's one piece of plant denial not available. Can Sen get in? Valin under pressure.
Yeah, definitely under pressure. There's flashes all over the place, man. He's blind as a bat. He can't see anything in this spot. So I thought, what is that? Ferrari swing. But Celsius stuck himself now onto the site, and he's left with a series of unknowns just wandering around his head. Where are these players? He's tapping, hoping, praying that they open themselves up into it, making it that much more winnable. Dodges the flash, and now he knows it, at least expects it. One player, at least in domain, sees the barrel. Can't win the fight. It's Trent that locks onto him. All bang to the head.
And G2 convert the bonus, something that was going on frequently in maps earlier today. Thinking back to Pearl. Valin's under enormous amounts of pressure there. He's got a salvo that he's sat inside of, has to push forwards, gets team flashed as well, and still got a kill. That's kind of ridiculous that he's able to come away with the goods in that spot. SEN have got to cobble together a buy, and it's not pretty.
It's desperation. It's the trouble. Jogamo's still holding on to this showstopper on top of it. Not a pretty buy at all. Zekken, flash primed, doubled up actually, just in case someone was anti. SEN are aware of the gaps in terms of how they wanted to play this one, but it's immediately caught. You can see Valin rattling off commands to the rest of his team.
I mean, look at Trent pushed out over towards the north side.
He's got so much information.
They're flanking so early. They did this in the prior as well.
Just, yeah, lambs to the slaughter. Steel Garden overlaid on top. Jogamo does not care. You can take away his gun, but he's still got the rockets. Still the salvos out wide here. Drifting in and out of these fights, and it's Bang who ends up dropping. 2 players left to stand here from SEN, Zekken and Celsius, trying to make sense of this chaos in the round, trying to reclaim any sort of space. Celsius slips in from under. There's the one, jiggle. And stun, oh no! Just a bullet tag slowing down the momentum. He can't evade that.
Good dodge on the flash. Step 1.
Many more to follow, and T2 more than a firm grasp, man. They have been in control from the start here on Fracture. They might be a map down, but they are determined to take this one all the way.
And you're seeing right from the beginning, the game plan is to push out the opposite side of the map. They've now done this multiple times, round 15 and round 16. When SEN look geared up to go for a B split.
I see 2 people just like this.
Yeah, because he's found the perfect timing. And because SEN are not thinking about that. SEN were too slow to do that on their own defense half. G2 are ahead in the macro.
There's no more room for error for SEN. At this point, basically just thinking ahead to Haven, but gotta focus. Maybe gather a bit of momentum, just make it that much more doable. Valin does eventually get removed away from the side here. The bullets are firing, Sentinels flooding out the feed.
They know that tree's been compromised.
It's going to be heard for. Committal, they know where the plant is as well. That nade is going to be rebounding, pushing John out into the open. And, well, okay, now a spray down, Trent! Where have you pulled that from? Just from the side, just when he thought SEN were getting comfortable into this round. It's a 1v1. Him versus the Narrate. Doesn't expect to reposition. Narrate straight from behind. Took that fast time in to flank around, and so the slightest of breathing room. But the question is, how many more rounds can string together until it's just over?
I also think that's the only way you're killing Trent at the moment, with a bullet to the back of the head. Because if you take a straight fight against him at the moment, he looks unstoppable. 17 and 6 on this map, by the way.
Nice! Come on, man, brick by brick.
Brick by brick. Well, they'll need another 7 rounds. Just to get things to overtime, by the way, not even to win the map.
Morale still keeping it up. Big ults on either side.
They need to be looking for these defensive pushes because G2 are constantly active.
This is going to be cleared out. Wait a second, SEN. No, they're being squeezed! Up onto the ropes. Celsius just couldn't quite escape in time. Trying to go a little bit quirky with the movement there. Zekken's just not able to get that kill. Slightest miss with a Bucky in hand. And it's up to Bang to respond. And he does. It's 2 ripped away and Armageddon of their own, and they have that site access, turning it back into the 3v3. Slowed once more. Great sticking with the plant. John finds his kill and his mark. Leaf, he's cheeky with it on this map. He's often trying to take those timings, and it's unusual to catch him unaware.
They've just heard the door open, but I don't think they're going to be aware of Valin. They still think there's a chance that he's over towards Spawn.
SEN are not out of that danger zone just yet. And creeping forwards, he's just spotted it. Just the shoulder. Fault line is instantaneous. It's rapid. These players are dwindling. They are toppling. G2. It's almost there. It's within their grasp. And they will have it. Not to be denied. Haven is inevitable.
The best of 5 in the Kickoff trophy between our 2 top teams from Americas. And it goes all the distance, all the way. Not every map has been close here today. Each round feels like there's chances for either team to win. This one probably the most one-sided in G2's favor, at least. They certainly came in with a bigger macro understanding of what they wanted to do. Their attack side's impossible to flood defend against. On defense, constantly getting those pushes working. The set plays, the ideas were great. Do we have any clue, though, what's going to happen on Haven? No. We haven't seen it from either of these teams. They've been mostly banning it. It is such an unknown way to crown the best team in Americas of early 2025.
Yeah, and what a way to do it, man. These teams have pushed each other to the brink. As you mentioned, Josh, listen, not every map has been close, but we deserve this. These teams are delivering. Haven is where it's all going to be decided. Multiple unknowns across the board. I just cannot wait to get back into the action.
अरे बॉस देख उधर पार्टी है खास
हमारे बिना पार्टी कैसे होगी झक्कास
पार्टी इन फुल जोश उड़ाते हैं इनके होश
देखते हैं who is the असली स्टार
रुको बॉयज यू आर नो लॉन्गर अ चॉइस
पार्टी स्टार्स के बिना पार्टी कैसे
ऐसे क्योंकि अब पार्टी का असली स्टार स्नैक्स्टर Go. Guys, who's ready for some Snackster? Okay. Celebration jo bhi ho. Always party with Snackster.
ಪ್ರಾಣ ಹೋದ್ರೂ ಪಲ್ಸ್ ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಕೊಡೋಲ್ಲ
G2 doing enough to slow it down. Lee's timing is impeccable.
Silent all over, and second swings backside, gets 3.
And it can only end like this. Map 5 on the horizon as G2 manages to pick up Fracture 13-5 in what could only be one of the quickest maps that we have seen here in this series so far.
What is mental about the pace of that map compared to the rest? Split had less rounds played. It was a 13-4, yet that map went for 15 more total minutes than Fracture at a 13-5. And this map in particular, I think, really illustrates what Josh RT has said about how dynamic the team is with the pace, with Giacomo in the roster. Fracture, their average time to plant the spike, G2, is 35 seconds compared to, for instance, on Abyss, 50 seconds. Split, 57 seconds. They are running it down on this map, and it's because they have a guy like Jaw.
And I want to show a couple of the XX where they are running it down throughout this game, because they had some really well put together executes with this comp that we were seeing out from G2. This first one, they're all passing that Vise wall together, so it doesn't actually cut anyone off. Then it's an aftershock to stop the flood from coming in. Then they're throwing down thorns. They have so many layers of utility to stop the defenders getting out these smokes. Most of the time the win condition as a defender on Fracture is getting past that smoke, getting in on this flood. But with the Vise, with the Brim Mollies, with Raise Nades, they're so good at stopping Sentinels from having that opportunity. Here's another. Jaw gets sent flying with the rocket in hand. They're ulted by the Teo, but they still get outside. They still have thorns. That combines with an aftershock to get a kill onto the breach, and then they clean up with some really pretty fundamentals on this round as well. And it was rounds like this all day on that attacking side to put G2 so far up on Fracture.
Incredibly impressive to see the speed at which G2 is taking some of these executes, and I mean, just even reflected in the first kills as well. Just the fact that you start off just so aggressive in their face, really leaving Wyatt Sentinels with no real option but to just kind of like deal with that aggression every single time.
It is this composition that is so explosive, and cool to see Jaw on the raise on this map instead of the Yoru that Sentinels were opting for. We see that Yoru be, to some extent, a natural counter to this Tejo meta where you can draw up the util and teleport away. But when you have the raise, that's just even more damaging utility to sync up with everything else that you've already got. So when you're playing that fast style, anchoring against this comp is next to impossible.
Yeah, no, of course. And there's obviously, as we look forward here, we have Fracture on the horizon. I mean, I don't even know what to expect. Oh, sorry, not Fracture, Haven. I don't even know what to expect there. Look at that, my brain's all
Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, this last map was like the Jojimo raise show, but there's so many options on which way G2 could go. For context, neither of these teams has played Haven just yet in Kickoff. So this is a complete unknown quantity going into map number 5 of a series. Is it going to be more Breach Teo Yoru like we've seen from Sentinels? Is it a more classic comp like what the Brazilian teams have played? There's a lot of options for this map number 5.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, last we were seeing of Haven, it was the very standard, you got your Breach, you got your Jet, etc. What we've always seen on the map. And do they dare try and play with a Tejo look to try and really prioritize controlling areas of the map like A main? It's possible, but so cool that we've made it the distance in this series. So we got to see SEN debut on Fracture, and we get to see both teams debut on this.
Well, that's what it's all about right there. They're playing for the Kickoff trophy. And of course, for Sentinels, they'll be playing for their second Kickoff trophy here in G2, desperately trying to get their first. The question is, who's going to come out on top? You don't want to miss it. Map 5 coming up right after this, and we'll see you on the other side.
This is it. This is what it all comes down to here in our grand finals of Kickoff for Americas itself as well. G2, they have been so close in the past, man. They've had 2 chances to win a grand finals here. They've been in familiar spots, but it's crumbled beneath their fingers multiple times. Sentinels themselves have gone on a run. They can cast their minds back to 2024 and understand how far they came in that fashion in Kickoff itself.
And the last time that we saw these two teams match up in this tournament, SEN weren't close, right? So it's not like you have that same fire underneath you of, we're within touching distance. This time they are. Breach Tejo gonna come out with Yoru, so sticking so heavily to the meta, if you want to call it that at the moment, for G2. Not adapting to Sova Breach, for example, or playing a Jet here. What are we gonna see from SEN? There are so many different options on Haven. Oh, I love this. Okay, so Yoru ISO going back to like a Fnatic-esque composition, but allowing both of your duelist players, because let's be real, that's what Narrate is in his heart of hearts, to go out there and frag. If there was a map for Narrate to be able to come back to Americas after his year in EMEA and showcase that he's that kind of player that deserves respect to pick up a trophy, he could put out an insanely good performance here on ISO. What to expect?
Yeah,
neither of these teams have played Haven this year.
You can only go off familiar scenes whenever teams are trying to play the same compositions, but you just don't know how they're going to be coming into it themselves. From map 5, the decider for the grand finals between these two teams. They're getting readied up. They're going to be heading into Haven. A pistol round where it always begins. But so many unknowns here. We've got to get the energy up because this is it. To what both of these teams have been looking forward to. Revenge for Sentinels to steal away that trophy and title and chance for G2. And for them, it's been in the making for many, many years.
We know roughly how the Euro ISO composition is going to work. There are not many people playing G2's compositional archetype here on Haven. It has huge amounts of area denial, but it should be limited on the info it gets on defense, I think.
Full speed ahead. Sentinels, not quite, faking it out.
Waiting for, yeah, waiting for a fault line, waiting for a salvo, something like that. Maybe even seeing if the wall was triggered there.
Yeah.
And the clone did pass the choke point, so you're pretty confident the Vice isn't playing C.
Just leaves 2 options on A. One from B, one garage.
Well, yeah, I mean,
really? Light work.
Tons of different lanes, but it does mean that they could re-hit C after a little bit of exploration elsewhere. So they're pushing back a potential defensive push on A. Looking to cut off some rotates too, or are they going to hit the B site?
Might be where their eyes are settling on, but
Zeken's gate crash just expired in spawn, so he's going to be stuck on the C lurk.
I think they're trying to make this feel like a B hit, and they're going to pivot into the C, but we'll find out ourselves. Shield popped, trying to ISO these fights. Celsius gets caught onto the flank there. Stun's going to be that connection. Narrate a lot to do into this spot. Spamming away, praying, and the damage done. He was whittled down to just double digits, and it was enough at the end of the day, but Zeken has granted him at least easy access, potentially over towards C. He might have just seen it, twists and turns, and these fights are taken. Jorgamo wins it out versus Bang. Man, it's going to be committed. Stuck down by John QT, but it's him and Zeken with a lot to do.
A 2v2 fight in garage going to be set up here.
And damage done prior. I mean, Jorgamo just goes down. That's a TP relocation. Pivot back and away, but John has taken that space. Didn't anticipate that there was a second player ready to face it. And now Zeken in that 1v3. Valen's got the smoke for it. It's very difficult to play this one. Zeken purely just have to base it off of spam, essentially. And now he can stick it. His team is applying that pressure down through C main.
Another pistol round win there for G2. I'm not seeing the vision for SEN. I don't think that's exactly what they drew up in their plan beforehand. They ended up setting 3 separate players to lurk. Zelsis had the lurk over towards A long. Narrate kind of contacted into B and ended up lurking in.
Looking at his radar while lurking, and he died.
And yeah, Leaf is just pointing out that caught a player looking at the minimap. So 3 separate people trying to set up a lurk. Including Bang was the other player that I didn't mention there that we saw get caught in mid.
Sentinels. A little bit all in, but TP forwards, and okay, what do you hear that? Zeken out into the open. Repeat taken by Jorgamo. He's not shy to take those fights.
One of your big, small objectives in this round, I suppose.
Timing.
Oh,
Bang's managed to catch this. Yep. The drone
What
did
on
not clear him. Oh, he's playing this one to almost perfection. Paranoia sweeps its way through. Not sure if that connection's there, but a Util's going to be coming out in spades to see if they can help this one out. That's a TP into the back corner. Aftershock somehow catching on to these players. Ring around the roses, and a spike dropped down into the open. There were chances there Gotta respect Sen. The gumption to even try and go for a play like that and bang to jump on it, but doesn't work out.
That's 2 rounds in a row that Sentinels have called some kind of contact play through a choke point. And it makes me think that that's part of their overarching strategy, is to not give timings for the salvo, for the stun. Bang couldn't quite pull off the teleport there before the aftershock that came through default caught him.
Hey, we got away with the mistake. Let's guys, call contact, call shit.
Yeah, and I think that's important there, is that somebody needs to be taking contact. They're holding spots expecting Sentinels to make noise and use util. They've been caught now kind of twice.
Oh, Jogamo, he's in their faces. He's only got a bulldog to his name. He's trying to take that fight, but TP backing away once more to safety. Time ball for Trent. Needs to be very careful and worried. He's lucky not to just trade out that orb for his life. G2 are now going to be getting primed and ready, and this is so quick, man. They're using a drone for the re-clear down through A short. All tripped up.
Leaf versus Zelsis again on the flank, on the lurk. Leaf has been good for it 2 out of 2 rounds so far.
Flash breaks the thorns before there can be too much more damage done. G2 grouping up towards mid.
Wow, double re-clearing mid, giving up garage. What a call from Leaf.
They've got a squeeze on them though. Do these players even know? Are they even aware? The answer is no. Leaf strikes right from behind, and Zelsa's got to do a lot here. He's got to try and salvage this entire hit that's coming through over towards the A site. Zelsa's can now become a bit of a problem player for them. Do they have to clear up the cam? It's a game of cat and mouse. What a plan does go down, but oh, he's looking in a different direction.
Jogamo is also a problem player though. He was behind in A long and Sen never cleared it.
Dropped down. Oh my God, what's occurring? No one's covering these fights. And the angle's there. Jogamo's in their faces. Do they know where Bang is? Sticking Jog gets halved. There's a smoke to supplement it, covering it, obfuscating it. It's 3 in a row for G2. The problem that's rearing its head. Bang survives with the rifle, but it's a consolation prize, man, because Kaplan mentioned this. Doesn't matter how much prep you put into a map. Doesn't matter how close you are on the gun rounds. If you lose the pistol, if you lose the bonus, you're going to lose the map.
But they've also lost the pistol and bonus by trying to get weird lurk plays through all over the place. You have a Yoru ISO composition. A Yoru ISO composition, sorry. Just make some space with the paranoia and with Zeken's teleport and allow Narrate to run around trying to frag people. This contact stuff is to try to get around and behind Jonah P and Trent's util. But it's also making Sen not play together and play to their win conditions.
It's a full investment by Sen. Kept the one rifle, but half armor almost across the board. Regen shields if they can afford it. Jorg is going to get information gathered. Wait a second.
He just came out of his
he
ult.
just came out of Dimensional Drift. He looks like he wants to try and take that fight up through a lobby. They're not giving it to him.
He teleported back as well. Have they heard that? They're still pinging out areas over towards A lobby, so...
And through mid. Oh,
brutal.
Smoke propped up. Information gathered, and they're just not watching their backs, man. These angles are open. G2 making a mockery of it right now. We didn't know what to expect here for Haven, but the game plan has just fallen to pieces for Sen.
They're leaving so many gaps, and G2 are finding them. I think Zels has got to be more defensive in his Cypher play rather than trying to find the lurk timings. He needs to stop G2.
Jonah P.
30 seconds left.
Tucked up tight, reinforcements arriving. They spot the back. There's a swing. Bang's lucky.
Here's Zelsis trying to find that lurk timing, though.
There's 20 seconds left. G2 no. Lost garage control. Okay, whipping a rifle back around again. Zelsis did get the 1 kill, but there's only 13 seconds left. They don't have main control.
10 seconds
I mean,
left.
Leaf has got this. Bang in the smoke.
Trying to go for it, a bit of spam. Oh, it's revealed his hand. Definitely has, but it's uncomfortable for Sentinels. They know that they have to fight for control of at least one of these areas of the map, and bullets are flying forwards. It doesn't matter. The player advantage that G2 have earned up more than enough to sail their way to victory in a 4th round now.
If you're looking for the cope for Sentinels here, once they get up to Yoru ult, ISO ult, they can start to apply much more pressure onto these sites. But you can't be relying on the ultimates the entire time. And you're still a round away from that, by the way. I mean, Sen have got to go, I think, here for another eco.
One enemy remaining.
It's looked like Sen's permaban. So far, right? It's looked like we're finally getting to the portion of the BO5 where G2's double map veto is giving them the win. And I thought we were going to get here earlier, I've got to be honest with you. I thought that G2 were looking so clean so far in kickoff, not dropping a single map coming into this grand final, that with double map veto, SEN were going to struggle to hold on. And we've been dazzled by what Sentinels have shown us so far in these first 4 maps. Especially starting out so strong on Split. But here, it's not cooking. By the look of things, we can see the economy, and it looks like SEN are going to try to force this round.
Opted into it again.
They're 1 away from getting every single ultimate online. The one that I would be prioritizing is Narrate's, because I think once you have Narrate's ISO ultimate on the attack side, you can grab a player, scale off the back of that, Paranoia, TP, Zekken into spots. There's a lot of big execs you can do, and it makes it very difficult for G2.
Concern here, though, G2 might be 1 step ahead with the player positions. Timer's going to start ticking at some point as we get down into the round.
Yeah, they are so far ahead of this, aren't they?
It's a salvo. The fault line, I think G2 going to try to take that early control. That makes it feel like Jorgamo's not here with the operator.
Well,
even pushing forwards.
Even if Jorg does have to teleport away, you've still got a crunch onto the ult orb.
He's made a bit of noise. Are they aware? Salvos. He's hoping that they get pushed back into him. Cracking shot by Narrate.
That gives him the ult as well.
With that, maybe you can snowball it into your advantage, but SEN are taking it slow and steady once more.
The drone doesn't clear enough. The idea there is that the drone is supposed to see whether they're playing retake. If they are playing retake, you take the site. If not, you catch him in the ISO.
Delayed hit. Oh, Jonapi's been out in the open there. He thought that he had the timing. This dimensional drift might not even be necessary, but he is going to spot out these players. And hello, combo it up. Yep, take it into the gulag. Good luck winning it. And Trent somehow manages it. There's a shield to contest with. Still there, gets 1. Locked up onto the side, but it was the impetus around that SEN needed. Took a lot to get there. Looked a bit messy in the process.
But it was the right call to force up, knowing that you had those ults about to come online. As soon as you get the ult cycle going, Sentinel's comp is really difficult to defend against. You see the combos that they have. And even when Trent gets this, he's gonna get traded out. It is ridiculous that he also caught John Cutie.
Yo, you're in the ISO, bro.
One of the things that does, though, I mean, obviously it lets Trent talk. Whoa, what are we going for here?
Off the rips, flashes in their faces, salvos and Armageddon! Narrate stems the bleeding and takes the bite out of that play. Jorgamo's still going to be taking the space off the back of that, but forced to respect it with a TP of his own. They're trying to squeeze these players.
Yeah, it's a set play that we've seen some other teams go for, actually, but... Oh! Leaf holds on!
Overzealous! Leaf's grabbed 2! Trent through the back! It's a Razorvine and a Hunter's Fury. He's going to be whipping his way around with just a 1 tag. Not enough to get the damage done. Not enough for the kill that they're looking for. Still a 2v3.
Jorgamo's coming around the flank. No, he's not.
Takes it for the TP. I mean, this is just going to be... Again, that chaos sown into the mix, into the round itself. There's 2 players on Sentinels. They're looking to see if they can carve an opening.
Trent just got salvos back. They're trying to bait them out. Trying to bait out a peek.
Fighting for a link control as 2 players meet them. Spots a shoulder. It's going to be a clone into your face. Could be blinding you potentially, but he turns it still. Flashed up. And they're just wandering, waiting out. Into the open backside. 5-1.
Looked like Joe got that kill full blind as well. 5-1. Rough for Sentinels, especially when they start that round with 2 clean kills from Narrate. That's brutal. The decision to go into the B side there, and Leaf eats them up. I mean, that is ISO value. That's what you play this composition for, and then... What an angle.
Backside. Where are you going?
This is worrying because G2, you can tell inside their comms, can feel the win, can feel the trophy.
Absolutely.
And if you're trying to play on the fact that G2 have choked before, you want to start strong, not allow them to get the confidence.
Salvo's out through mid, that's G2. Slowing down a potential mid-take.
This is one of the reasons the ISO is so good. You can use that shield to be able to just gather ult orbs up. And Narrate, once he ults, he always has an ult point back. It should be so simple to cycle these massive ultimates up.
time to judge.
Big struggle though so far for SEN. Now they're looking to make their way over towards A. They're ready to take a peek. It's a double player held down. I mean, they were watching for it. They hear the sound cue from the shield. He only gets the one. And every smoke, every option is watched for. Right now, SEN are just throwing anything at the wall, seeing what sticks with these lurk plays. TP committed. Leaf is wondering whereabouts these players could be. Rolling Thunder gives him the time for the drop down. Flash on top of it. Hell player banging to win that fight out, and he still needs to hold it down even further. It's just one man though. What can he do? Dodge at a flash. Quick turn to the side. Plant's still not down for them. He's going to be stuck, committed. Cosmic Divido forces them forwards into the fight and into the fray. And G2 are now aware of it. They know the possible positions. The IGL has you in his sights.
G2 are dismantling Sentinels. You see it in the rounds. Narrate just decides to pick a timing to apply his shield and swing C long. I mean, maybe just hoping that he would catch a solo Jorg holding the angle. And then Zekken does a very similar thing and just tries to find a timing into the B smoke. Both duelists lurking in this round. It's ranked-esque strategies, not what you expect from a team like Sentinels. But again, this is their permaban, so how much can you really judge them for the situation that they're in? They did an amazing job to get to map 5 here. But if they wanted a chance at victory with the benefit of hindsight, maybe it had to come on Fracture.
Yeah, just a little bit earlier.
Because this is looking tough. This looks like a team that doesn't have the depth in their map pool against an opponent that has got rid of Bind and Lotus. They're not going to be in these kind of spots too often. This only happens in grand finals.
It does. Just that best of 5 debuff that just occurs because when it gets drawn out to this point, like you've been mentioning, it comes down to the preparation. How deep does your map pool go? Of course, there's the mental resilience part of things. And SEN have got, listen, they're not lacking that experience in that department. They've been in tenuous spots like this before, competing for titles, trophies in grand finals. But G2, they just want it more.
And they've prepped more here as well. And also they've had enough of the match to get their form back, I think. And especially for Trent. I've been so impressed with what he's put together in the last 2 maps. He's looked electric. I think he'd probably be my MVP so far of this match. Still plenty of rounds left to play though, and there's a chance that Narrate can come online. He's still at the top of the scoreboard. He's not playing too badly, but the whole team doesn't really seem to have a good idea of how to maximize his value. But he's got the ult.
Oh, Salvo fault line all being expended here, but that's a TP clone actually on top of the bricks. That's a ult narrowly avoided.
He got the clone, did he?
Sucking onto a couple of these players. Yeah, is that a clone play? Absurd reactions from Jordan. We're just anticipating it, but a clone in your face doesn't matter. No, he can't go and get out. It's traded in time. Bang at least gives them that. And a player advantage on top of it, but they haven't cleared. Valin backs to him! And quick reactions from Celsius. Make sure to watch that angle, but damage done to Bang. Wrapping around by Leaf. It's all about this timing, and they are doubled up towards short. Doubled up, and he's, the player weak! Does he anticipate? The Celsius has cut it up into the corner. It's all about this timing, and the fight to be taken. Off-angle approach. And the player, the man that has held his ground and stood up to many questions and challenges, Celsius delivers them around.
What a scrappy fight over there towards A-Long. Bang TPs himself on top of bricks, which was unexpected to start. But yeah, I'm pretty sure in the midst of all of that, we saw a pretty sick outplay with Jorgamo using his clone to stop Narrate's ultimate. Didn't get them the round win though. SEN get 2.
That same A-lobby aggression used off the rip forces the slowdown for SEN. Not that they were looking to go into that direction anyway.
Recon Dart also used off the rip towards the back of the C site, which I don't really understand the value of for John. I'll have that back at the minute mark.
Upton back into trying to take control of some of these areas. There's a wall into the face of Zekken.
Narrate kind of wastes his shield here just to take garage control instead of, well, I mean, I guess he's applying pressure. He's kind of just acting as a distraction and a lurk. It's a weird way of using the ice, though.
Yeah, I mean, he's going to force that re-clear, which Leaf apparently not favored for. Valin, it's impeccable with the timing. I mean, Narrate, he's just not worried about it. He's trying to back himself out of the fight. Clone was used in mid, just pulls back that wall as well on top of it, but Asalva's going to be used as that response, and Jogamo ready to lock it down. He's got teammates at his back, and he's taking a fight straight to them, flashes in their face, stuns the supplement, slow down the pace. The drone now has to be offloaded. SEN looking to get themselves in. It's a half clearance. It's a half clearance! Trent, he's just decimated them!
Beautiful distraction. You can't get past this guy. He's been unbelievable in these last couple maps. He's 12-3 currently. And he lit the world up on Fracture too. The defensive util that G2 have to work with here is barbaric.
I'm caging.
I mean, he's making a comment there that the cage was beautiful for him to play around despite it being thrown from Zelsis, I think.
It's all smiles for G2.
All right, here's an exec, though, from SEN, on an eco, albeit.
And they need Narrate to lead that charge. It is an eco. Hold on, twist and turns. You're trying to break the ankles, but again, not quite the weaponry for it still. Tran gets the one, swing through the cage, and Zelsis has gone down anyway. It's rapid. And it feels like desperation at its core.
When you run those kind of fast hits, it does make it really easy for G2 to be able to find the right timings for their stuns, flashes, sucks, pulls, salvos. They've got everything. It's really tough. You can see why SEN are trying so much of this lurking, contacting style of play. But it makes their comp look so uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Can John pull a rabbit out a hat in the world's most unlikely 1v3? Because otherwise, they've still only got 2 rounds out of 10.
There's no gun. It's not util, but he doesn't want to reveal it. The only thing he's got going for him is that they don't know where he is. He's timing across to the drone, but, well, dart's in order, and Salvo's at your feet. Good luck crossing that boundary. Cosmic Divide even committed. Shows a bit of respect, I think, that G2 are making sure to expend these ults. And they've got the crossfire set up. Jump spot. It's going to be dealt with.
It's okay. He drew out the Cosmic Divide. That's a win. But SEN needs some rounds at this point. G2 are running away with it. You're seeing that gap now between these two teams here on Haven. And they're going to have so many tools as well to use on the attack. This is not just a defense-sided comp. We've already seen when they play, you know, Split, for example, is one where this comp is really difficult to stop once it gets rolling.
So far, G2 though on track. Be grabbing that title, a trophy. It's eluded them and evaded them most of their careers. Here's aggression. Increase again with the tempo, but that's Bang just perched up on top of the staircase, and the angle unexpected for Jogamo.
G2 feel like they have to make something happen here, because if they wait, Sentinels have got an enormous ult advantage. There's the Cypher ult.
Yeah. And it pushes back G2 when they were looking for another go of things outside the double doors. All up. Nerofef gives them the info. They know that A has just the one lurking for it, and Zekin's going to be gathering even more information. Thorn's popped off, but he doesn't care about that. Straight into the fight, Leaf. How cheeky do you want to get? Armageddon is going to be layered down onto these players as well, and it's created that window in the pocket. Still Zekin from behind, and he does wrangle his rifle just in time. It's 2 dropped. Zekin needed that. Needed to show himself up here still. He's stunned. Go to the corner and unaware of where Jonah P could be coming from. Wait a second, it's a 1v2. Drone not being used. Flash up and over towards the top, but tagged up. Jonah P forced to respect it. Cannot give these G2 players ins, and you can feel it now. SEN realize it. Offload and volley util, doubled up. It's a good call to make.
SEN get another on the board. An A4 half could be possible, could be. They would have to come out with some amazing game plans on the defense. Narrate's one away from getting ISO ult online. He can drag a player into a 1v1, but he doesn't want to go for Chocomo's clone again. You saw, I mean, this flood defend idea from G2. They have the Vice flash, and then Trent running through a smoke. Zekin had to do everything to stop it from working. Pryo has got to be getting that orb onto Narrate.
Need the ult. See if they can turn around in their favor. As you said, 8-4, maybe it's winnable if SEN are able to grab it. G2 called in for the reinforcements just early on over towards A, but now playing a bit more fluidly. Here the drone. Going to be used pound for pound out through mid as well. Both teams are going to be hunting for that information, and there's no orb in sight. Narrate just wants to try and take the fight straight to them. Maybe if he earns a kill, but that's a shield expended. He desperately needs this. He's forward, taking the timing, matters into his own hands, but it's just going to be fading out. The duration and an ult of their own. Jorgamo is going to be using it, gathering it, and he sees it. Tip tap of the footsteps, Leaf cutting up close onto the corners. Unexpected here, and here's some chaos for you. Attempt to reclear it forces SEN to slow down.
They've used recon just to check spawn.
Yeah.
Narrate, even if he gets this ult orb, even if he gets the ult online, he doesn't have his shield because he wasted it earlier on.
That's what he would be hoping for. Any sort of advantage into this fight. Any information? It's an ult, a no-go. Everybody just cleanly out of the way. G2 now starts swarming, getting into position for this one. Forwards, double taking, just trying to get ahead of the curve as well as the setup occurs. Blind as anything, Valin. He's just running rings around him, but Zekken left to try and control the situation. But it's too much for even him. 9-3. It's where we stand for the last map here of our Kickoff Grand Finals.
And G2 are going to be feeling calm, comfortable, confident. After a very nervous beginning to this BO5, I would imagine we might get a chance. Might get a chance in the winner's interview with them to check that out. But here we go, all on the line, and G2 can sense that trophy.
Nutella lovers! It is my favorite day of the year. It is our day. It is World Nutella Day. And I'm throwing myself the ultimate breakfast party. Let's celebrate our favorite day together. Here's wishing you all a very happy World Nutella Day.
A 9-3 half is what we're staring at, and it's the decider map for the Grand Finals. G2 have been on the cusp of a title many, many times before. This Valen-led team as well. They made sacrifices as well to stay together as a squad. They need this win desperately. You can feel it. And this time, they're holding all the momentum.
As you say, they were an Ascension team almost by choice. They were good enough for Tier 1, the players, but they chose to stick together in Tier 2. One Ascension came in, have been in multiple finals here in Americas as well, and this is their best chance. A pistol round that is desperate for Sentinels.
Their only chance, realistically, at this point. Slight pause into the round at the beginning. GT were hoping that one of the SEN players might have been caught unaware with a flash play.
Zekken's gone for the gate crash. So super common for the Yoru to start the round over towards A and then have that gate crash on C if needed. And maybe that mid utility just baited it out when he could have held his ground a little longer. Sentinels have decided to play A for retake. And I think this is quite readable because it's a pretty classic thing a Yoru Isu comp would want to go for.
G2 just crawling up onto the angles. Not a huge amount of util expended. But now the smokes are going to be spelling it all out here. John, dart against the backdrop, into the wall, but that's a clone. Set your eyes towards this one here. A lot of util now to try and push back these Heaven players. On top of that, with a shot dart, and time has been bought. There's only 35 seconds left. And which direction are you going into, G2?
They're going back to Leaf.
It's a mad dash.
Leaf found an enormous gap in garage.
And SEN just following those sound cues. Might be kicking themselves. They're rapid onto the approach once more. There's only 17 seconds left. They want to try and get ahead of most of this here, but a vulnerable is going to push Leaf back. He did this job. He got the space for his team to try and get that plant down, and now it goes into the retake that SEN desperately need.
All missiles away.
Trying to put a squeeze on them. Still a wall to deal with. Just the shoulder peeking out. Shots fired off as well. Calls made for G2. They want to try and take this full focus in towards the back of the site. They're eight to cracking one to try and open it up, and the issue forced. Jorgamo pressing forwards, but still these players, these bodies, as much as the advantage was found, it suddenly just turned all the way right around. G2, how are you managing this? It was all, oh, I mean, it was looking so likely.
The double flank from Sentinels didn't clear Leaf. His vice wall got tripped and he tucked in a corner, and then Jonah came back to help. Jonah was just trading out. It's fundamental gameplay from G2. You see it here through his eyes. Other players die in front of him, but he's there to pick up the pieces. And it's pretty doom for Sentinels. It's not even a large reaction here for Josh RT. At this point, it's the expected outcome for G2. They'll be savoring it, thinking about it. That trophy is within touching distance out there on the floor in front of them.
You just don't have the weaponry to util to hold a candle right now. SEN can pray that they can get a gap in, but listen, rapidly approached. Nowhere to hide, nowhere to run. SEN, maybe if there was mistakes, but G2 aren't offering them. No cracks in the armor that they can wedge open.
They've certainly been tested in this match overall, but not here. And not on Fracture either. It's been a sprint to the finish line by the look of things. SEN are going to be waiting to get rifles online, hoping that they can do something, but this would be one hell of a comeback. Jumping into that just to try to deny Jonah P the kill, because they do not want a Rolling Thunder available for the bonus. They're fine dying to Trent. So SEN have now got to get themselves into a spot where they can deny a bonus round, hopefully deny a Rolling Thunder, somehow turn this around with no practice on Haven. And meanwhile, G2 are sitting pretty. They've eased into this match. It took them longer than we expected. I thought maybe they'd drop one map here today, but SEN have pushed them much further. But these last two have looked comfortable, back to that easy style of Valorant.
Yeah. G2 rolled out the red carpet for themselves, man. It's looking like a casual jaunt for them as they get ever closer to that 12th round. This is going to be the best chance in a while for SEN. You've got to do it multiple rounds in a row.
High-low setup here from Zelsis and Bang.
Oh.
Trying to deny the ult orb.
From clears. Well, he missed his way around. I mean, they just committed the aftershock anyway. Doesn't matter that they missed him. This is C control and a TP deep up onto the side. Bang. Just trying to layer it down as well. A bit of recovery and fire is in order and necessary. But the rate has got to do it all. Quick dismiss, a quick flick of the wrist just to try and dodge these dashes. And the flash is coming his way. 2 versus 3 though. Plant going down. No problems there. And G2 getting ever closer. Flowing forwards, facing away. John QT. It's a lovely time to make a play, but it's going to need a little bit more. Dart revealing, bit of spam potential, but still they're going to try and take this one together! And the jumping right clicks. They save them for now.
That is what they needed. A John QT miracle. 11-4, it's still a nightmarish road for SEN to walk. But with less than 30 health combined, they get it across the line. Don't exactly understand how. This round ended up going so badly wrong for G2. They were set up pretty for it. They're going to need more of that. They're going to need G2 to take their eyes off the prize. Or get too obsessed with it and forget about the game, I suppose. Distracted by the gleam off the trophy. G2 group up for a fast A, looking to maybe to get Trent the Armageddon, shut the door in their face.
They're waiting for Util, trying to refight after it's expended on Sen's side. Savo's do enough as well to clear it out, so.
Yeah, they just push everyone away from reinforcing bricks. So as long as you hard clear bricks, as Jorg is doing, you're not too worried. Reclear though for Sentinels.
Yeah.
It was working on split, can it work again?
They're going for it. Grouped up. Shield popped. Paints the picture. It's obvious right now for G2, but despite how obvious it is, you have to hit back and you have to fight back. Sentinel's not willing to go down without a fight, not just yet. To escape from this one without giving away too many more kills because they have that player advantage.
Cautious and respectful from G2, just trying to control the aggression from Sen. Didn't want to take too many unnecessary risks, but now they're going to have to do something. Down 3v4, using that to break the trip.
The drone partially avoided still. It's good. John just playing back now, and the plan is retake over towards A. He's got the kill. He's played his life.
Individually.
No reason to overcomplicate it.
Individually, these initiator players on both teams are playing really well. Trent now, Armageddon online. I don't see how they could get this done. Should be Sentinels getting up to 5, especially because they're going to have full info on where these post-plant players are.
Did Zeka miss the clearance? I'm not too sure. There's a dart. Rebounding round the back and spam into the smoke. They got to know and expect it, yeah. So, Conventional Drift was essentially able to make that one just a walk in the park themselves. Sen, still here, still breathing.
Finding value off the reclear. They're going to need many more of those. So many more of those. But Narrate didn't have a chance to use his ISO ultimate here. So he's still got that available. And in a larger macro sense as well, they haven't really been exploring what Zelsis is up to.
One round at a time. Come on now.
Zelsis has been putting a trip garage and then a cam to also watch garage. So when the trip gets broken by Trent Salvos, he still has info. Now this round, they've swapped it over, and he's defending on A. Are they trying to get value from the ISO ult early?
What is this? Decision making for Bang. He's forced to just make the decision right here now. Still, he knows that the players cross past that threshold, and it is returned with a fire and a trade in sight. Bang dropped. Deep drone in. Could have been an incredible play to make.
Oh, Narrate used his shield, so he felt incentivized to use the ultimate, and he just sent it too late.
It's gone.
On an area that G2 had already evacuated. He does look a little uncomfortable on the ISO. Been a while since he played Duelist.
G2 happy to run rings around them. Within the chaos, they might thrive, and they might even be able to get that thrifty win still. Okay, there's a dart that Hunter's Fury. It's all going to be used to stem the bleeding here for Sen. Cam as well. Look, you can play for this one to the retake. A bit of spam onto the corner just in case. Trying to time it right.
Double flank. They're not thinking about this, surely. John completely caught unaware.
Yeah. So bullet to the back of the head for Trent. Fala steps forwards, only earns himself the one, but Sight given up. Zekin with the rifle. Locks it all the way down. Safety in numbers, and Sen had it.
G2, they are 2 rounds away from getting that elusive trophy, and yet Sen are starting to put the rounds together. That's now 3 retakes, 3 defuses in a row. And what a play from Bang to begin the round. I mean, you can see him stuck, not used to that. Had to make a decision. These are the last of G2's reserves. The piggy bank, it's running dry. Probably they're going to run a fast round here because Jorgamo has the Yoru ult online.
Yeah.
Sen should be able to read that.
They should. But we'll find out and we'll see. It's 2 players lined up out towards mid. Just the one spotted. Wait a second. Bait on the end of a stick. Gonna be calling for the pings as well. Dart, fault line, an attempt from Jorgamo. He's got to worry, and he seems to expect that play was occurring. The squeeze, trying to turn it onto him. Still, it's all the way out through C. You got Util out into the hands of Narrate with a shield. Can't overstep himself here. If he goes into the Fawns, he loses it anyway, but the duration just running out. It's a nice little Util combo still. They're not out of danger just yet. G2 have control of this one. It's a lot of Util expended. That Paranoia sweeps its way through. No play to take space, though. Not from Sen. I believe they're going to get stalled out, and they are. Slowed down. Reclearance out into garage. Might just come down to these fights that are taken. Dart rebound. Zekun was almost alone when he's taking that one. And these players are falling. Sen to do a lot here. clearing the way forwards. Chogomo is low. The dash, or at least the flash, is going to be broken. Kia cut it up. Leaf cannot do it here. Leaving it down to Chogomo. TP up on above. Chogomo hears it, he expects it. But in a 1v2.
They are doing it. SEN are bringing this one back. 5 seconds that they still had to play with there. The retake coordination is great. The vulnerable into the shock dart is lovely too. But the way that they're playing off each other and the spacing here, pretty brilliant. Bang and John Cutie even setting up the high-low.
Yo, let's go.
Trent having 20 kills on the other side and SEN still believe. G2 forced to take a tactical timeout. They're getting owned by these retakes, honestly. And it's strange because Leaf has Thorns down in the post plant. Narrate can't really get in with his shield. It's not the ISO that's necessarily providing all the value. It's the players coming in afterwards. And G2, I think, not quite setting up enough ideas for themselves. No garage reflanks, for example, on a round like that. They can't really fight post plant aggression because they're trying to use the Thorns to keep the other team out from flood defending. It's starting to get concerning, actually. G2 may have just taken their eyes off the prize for a moment.
We got a glance at it, but you're exactly right here for G2. We know how much this means to them. Valens talked about it. They're confident coming into this season. They know that they're one of the best, if not the best team in Americas, but it's about how you prove it here and now in this grand finals. And for Sentinels themselves, listen, the mood has almost flipped. You wouldn't expect Sentinels to be down this many rounds with the way they're acting after these rounds and the replays themselves. They know it's one round at a time.
At the same time, though, anything can happen. And these eco situations are often where the team with lower economy just throws caution to the wind. SEN, though, look like they're set up pretty to deal with this.
Odin primed and ready. It's going to be a Thorns straight towards the back of the site. It's going to be cutting off the exit route. SEN, we'll see if they just try and hold their ground into it. That's a TP forwards. Dismissed. Narrate's there.
I like what they're going for here with the high-low setups. Right in front with a shield. Bang, Ward's playing up top. Bit of danger dismissed. And leaving Cypher utility with Zekken on the opposite side of the map to hold things down. I think G2 do need to be doing a bit more of this slow defaulting to get rid of Zelsys utility.
Through the back though, they're just looking for a plant at this point. Zelsys, okay, sidestep, Valens there. Still forcing them back in the Thorns. Sound cues are given off to G2, but it's just two players, what can they do? And it's accounted for, at least without angles. Zelsys wraps it all the way around. Leaf is right there behind them. Player down into mids, he's turned it into a 1v2. Up in the hands of Zekken. Spike, drop down. That's going to be the win com here for Sentinels. Leaf does not expect it, surely not, and yeah. Zekken just creeps around the corner. Locked in. Ready to take this all the way if necessary.
5 rounds in a row, and the gap down to 3. G2, at this point, barely in the lead. And certainly if they lose this round, in a super precarious position. They know that Zekken has an operator. G2 need to navigate that. They also need to be worried about the info that Zelsys is consistently applying. But they have ults to work with. Does that break the trip? Yeah, it does. So no kill trip over towards A-Long.
Zekken contemplating whether they wanted to step up to this, but you don't know if they've taken up control towards A, and G2 have. Drone's going to be used in a forward position. Everybody grouped up. There is no pivot option here for G2. It's all in. They're sending it, flying forwards now. Steel Garden on top of it. Cut to the corner. Zekken.